Welcome to TTBoy TV. TT back in the office. We have a very special guest. They're all special to me, right? But we have this real pretty, sexy, you know, everything. Beautiful London River.
Hello.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks. I was going to let you continue complimenting me, but you know.
You got nice lips, nice hair.
Thanks.
Love your Marilyn Monroe dress.
Thank you. Yeah.
You go like this?
Yeah, it does.
Oh, yeah, because, you know, let me tell you a secret. Every time that I post a girl, you know, with just a little teeny bit like that, you know, in the picture, all the guys...
They click it.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? I mean, it's not crazy. It makes sense. But anyways, so, yeah, thanks a lot for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So I don't know that much about you because I looked you up and I didn't see, like, Wikipedia and all this and that like sometimes people have. How many movies have you done?
Oh, gosh, hundreds.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I've been... Yeah, I work a lot, but I don't have a Wikipedia. I almost feel like people make their own Wikipedia pages. Yeah. And I didn't.
Maybe they're getting lazy online. You know, maybe Wikipedia's getting lazy. Wikipedia, wake up. She should be up there. Hundreds of movies already?
Yeah, I've been around for like, I mean, I've been in regular porn for about 3.5 years and I work constantly. And then I've been, I was doing BDSM stuff before then, like, yeah, there's a lot of my butthole on the internet.
Oh, like no, really? So you're an anal queen?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah? Is that your thing? You like it?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah. I like to hear that.
those are my preferred scenes.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. I see. So how many? So 200, 300, 400?
I would guess like I would say like around 3, maybe 4. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, honestly, we could look it up on IMDb, but I think that's kind of incorrect too.
Really?
Yeah. Is it like an estimation? I don't know. Like I do probably around 20 scenes a month, but then more some months.
What's your rate? I like to know. These people want to know what's your rate per scene. Per anal scene, per boy, girl, what's your scene rate?
Okay, per anal scene, it's 13 to 14. Mm-hmm. And then for my boy, girl rate, it's like 1,000. So it's pretty standard. It's not like insane.
Let me tell you something about that. You probably already understand, but I'll tell the people that too. A long time ago when I was working, I worked for a good price and I worked all the time, right? And then when you jack your rate up sometimes, you know, the rate, your work starts to dissipate.
Right.
I mean? So yeah, it makes, you know.
You work less. And honestly, working more is better, like, in my opinion, for multiple reasons. But because it also, every single scene I do is kind of an advertisement for my own content. Yeah. So like, you know, Brazzers put something out of me and everyone is going to go search for me. And now they find me on social media and then they're clicking on my stuff and buying things from me too. So
you're selling stuff?
So working a lot is a good thing.
It's a great thing. Yeah. And it keeps you busy. Mm-hmm. Keeps you out of trouble.
Keeps me. Okay.
No. Okay. So, your favorite color is blue?
Pink.
Oh, pink, but you got a blue car.
I know. But because a pink car looks stupid.
But you like guys in blue.
I do. Yeah. Oh, yes. You were on my Twitter earlier. I like guys in blue. All
right. That's all. So that's a lot of work. That's great.
Yeah.
You know, that's beautiful. So you work with so many people. And you do BMS or BSDM? Not even
BDSM,
bondage,
yeah. Bondage stuff, yeah.
Everything's abbreviated today, but I call it bondage, right? Mm-hmm. But so you're a mistress and you're a submissive? What are you?
Yeah, I switch. I do both. But I don't do both with everyone. Like I've gotten really picky about who I will sub to.
Right, because I bet it can be, you know, people get kind of crazy, right?
People go kind of nuts and you don't ever want it to be like some guy that shows up to work and you know, somebody's like, oh, you're gonna, you know, cane or this girl or whatever, and she's tied up, and also he's dealing with like a fucking breakup or his feelings about some girl that didn't go to prom with him like 10 years ago or whatever, and I don't want to be that person. And every once in a while I find myself on like that end of it where I'm like, you're just here and you're like mad at women right now, and I don't feel like you should be hitting me.
Really?
So yeah, it happens. So I've gotten grumpier about it.
Oh man, and you're tied up.
Yeah, and then it's like
Yeah, that's scary, huh?
Yeah, it's a little bit upsetting, and that's kind of what I entered into. But I dom more now.
So, when did you start doing that?
About 10 years ago.
So before porno.
Yeah.
Because you've been 3.5 years, you say.
Well, I was doing BDSM porn.
Oh, okay.
Like exclusively, and then I started doing like actual boy-girl stuff only about 3.5 years ago.
Oh, so the other one was just being tied up and being whipped?
Yeah, or tying other people up, or, you know, doing fetish stuff like foot worship and weird shit like that.
There's a lot of weird shit. I mean,
I love weird shit. Right? Like, I still love weird shit.
Because I'm not a weird guy, right? I'm like, I like pussy, right? That's it. And I saw what looked like yours, or was yours, and I said, wow, that's just the way I like it. It looked nice and fat.
Oh, thank you.
Is it true? Is it real fat?
Yeah, it is.
I love fat pussy. The truth is, if the girl doesn't have a fat pussy when I'm working with her, as an actor, even at home, I'd be like, all right, let's get this over with, you know?
Oh my gosh.
It's like crazy. That's as weird as I am.
No, that's a little weird though. I don't know.
Yeah,
that's kind of a fetish.
Yeah, it's a fetish. Yeah. But anyway, so you must know some serious stories of weird stuff. I mean, people want to know weird things, so please tell me some of these weird bondage fetishes. Well, you know feet, but there's more intricate details in the feet. What do they do with the feet? You know, or what do they do with other things? Can you elaborate?
I mean, I can tell you what I do with feet. Well, I mean, if you have a fetish for, like, I guess the foot is a good example because it's so common, but like if you have a fetish for the foot, then people have like a fetish for everything about the feet. So when you're shooting it and it's like girl feet, like my feet, it's like people that really understand it kind of make sure that they're getting like every little nuance of that person's foot. So like the wrinkles on the soles, and then like the way that the toes flex and bend, like making sure to get that and getting them splayed and getting them put together, and like the tops and the sides, and then like, yeah, as detailed as you can possibly be on the feet. Even if there's something wrong with them, somebody's going to be in with it. Like, so if like there's dirt on somebody's feet because they've been wandering around barefoot, it's like, shoot the dirty feet, because somebody really wants to see those dirty feet that have been running around outside. And then you clean them and make sure, it's just, so whatever the fetish is, it's just like, I think the most important thing is to dive into it as hard as possible. As far as weird stuff goes, I've done some weird stuff.
But tell me, I know the porn star, like I was telling you earlier, I had interviewed this one, Chuck Martino or Tony Martino. Who was, a cool actor. The girls loved it. He was a nice looking guy, back in this time. He was crazy about feet. And I don't know, because he worked at the shoe store when he was 14, right? I don't know for
Probably.
sure. And maybe the girl stuck her foot in his mouth. I don't know for sure. He didn't say that, but he loved feet. And he would come if a girl jacked him off with her feet. I mean, so that's what I want to know. You've seen this?
Oh, I've done that.
They come easy? I mean, what is it?
If somebody's really into feet, they'll come. Well, and you just kind of wrap like where like there's that little gap between your soles, and you just, okay.
And you no, please, you stroke it. I mean,
yeah. So I'll like grab my ankles while I'm sitting on my butt to like kind of help me get some leverage, and then I just do like a.
Can you show me?
Yeah. So it's like this, and then it's just grabbing your ankles and keeping it going. But it's a really good squeeze in there because it's not.
Oh, really?
It's not like too much space. Yeah.
I got you. That makes sense. You can hold it. Yeah, you got to have friction on your dick, otherwise, how are you going to do it?
Yeah, and you like drop some lube in there. It's lovely.
Oh yeah. So, I mean, I guess in your world that's not weird, but if I was a normal guy, I mean, I'm kind of normal, but not really, you know, and I was sitting working as a mechanic or whatever, and I heard, oh yeah, like somebody jacking me off with their feet, right? I'll be like, whoa, that dude's weird, you know what I mean? But that's not so weird in your world, in the fetish world, right?
No, that's really normal.
So tell me something that's weird in the fetish world.
I had my pussy sutured shut with medical sutures once.
What's that?
Like what they used to sew wounds together.
Stitches?
Yeah.
Is your pussy stitched?
Yeah, stitched clothes. Yeah, it's basically like a wound, and it was like my outer labia were stitched together, and then. Are you okay? You gonna be okay?
I mean, for me, listen, I'm all about pussy. So for me, that is a cardinal sin. Right. I mean, don't do that. I mean, you were hurt, or they just did that for a look? Oh,
it was absolutely one of the most painful things that I've ever done.
You did it because you like it, pain, or?
Yeah, I'm kind of a masochist. It was my idea. I was like, but it was for a shoot. But I was like, you know, it'd be really cute.
Wow.
And so we did that, and then they used an Enjoy, like one of those kind of hooked anal toys, and they stimulated my G-spot through my ass so that like I would squirt, and then I squirted through the sutures so you could see the squirt like coming through. It was so gnarly.
Oh my God, was that painful?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So that is insane. I've never heard. I mean, okay. You want to hear one of the weird things I heard? Mm-hmm. I mean, I saw. Okay, we shot at a house probably like 1995 in the valley in the hills, right? And this guy had a special chair he sat in, right? But it was like he would be locked down, I think, because it was 25 years ago or something, 26 years ago. But on the wall, he had the pictures of what they would do, right? Yeah, suspense.
I'm so excited.
They were locking down on his chair, and they would take electrodes and hook him up to his nuts. Right? And his nuts blew up this big.
Wow.
And he had pictures of it, clean, clear, crisp pictures on the wall of his nuts being blown up this big. The outer skin,
That's wild.
And I'd be like, what the fuck? Obviously, he's a BSDM guy or, bondage,
right.
A masochist. Like, what? I'm not joking. As big as a cantaloupe.
Oh, that seems so uncomfortable. I mean, after what I just said, probably not, but that seems like so uncomfortable.
Right? But did you have some type of radical orgasm because of the pain?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So it was way a greater height than average?
Yeah, a lot. Well, I mean, even when they've done kind of studies on what happens to the human brain during orgasm, and both men and women actually, our brains fire in really similar ways. So everything kind of lights up, but including the pain centers. So there's an idea that maybe like some people like pain during sex because it kind of helps you like get past that threshold because it sort of wakes everything up.
I can totally believe it because your body and your brain, they sometimes don't go together, right? I mean, You got to get them unified.
Yeah.
And I've been before when you're in pain and then you have sex and it feels way better.
Yeah.
Like, emotional pain or even not so much physical pain because it's hard to fuck if you're, physically pain, but emotional pain is always, I bet you so many people out there don't even know it because it's make-up sex, emotional pain, and then you have sex and it breeds a higher height, brings you up. But have you what about drugs? You know what I mean? Drugs will put you up there too.
I'm like, drugs also do wonderful things. As it turns out, pain is legal and drugs are not. It's crazy.
But, there you go, because
Yeah, I'm like, if you could just like get mushrooms, that would be one other thing. But
I guess
unfortunately,
it gives you a mushroom bar if you like. You got those?
Yes.
Okay. Everybody knows there's mushroom chocolate bars floating around. Anyways, but I have not had sex on mushrooms. Tell me about it.
You've never had sex on mushrooms?
No.
It's almost like everything else on mushrooms. Like it's just like a little bit better and a little bit more heightened. Like
I mean,
you know, like listening to music on mushrooms, your music is a little better. And like, I like to go on walks every once in a while, go hiking while shrooming. And not like a hard hike where I'm going to fall off a mountain, but something simple. And it's just like the breeze feels better and everything is prettier. And I'm like, and sex is the same way. So like, it's just like a little bit better.
Well, back to the other part, because I mean, I don't want to get off topic because we're going to talk about drugs. Well, we're here with drugs. Let's talk about them.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Are you telling me your drug of choice for sex is mushrooms?
Yes.
Yes.
Mushrooms are just weed.
Or just weed? Mm-hmm. What about cocaine, meth, heroin?
Cocaine, I've never used like meth or heroin. Cocaine doesn't make me want to fuck.
No?
Cocaine makes me want to like do shit.
Really?
I want to leave the house, then I want to party. I don't want to fuck though.
You want to talk and hang out or something like that? Okay. Let's say there was an actor I interviewed. He was a regular actor too in Hollywood. Not great, but I mean he was Jesus Christ Superstar Paul Thomas, right?
Okay.
You heard of him?
No.
No, he was Vivid's. You heard of Vivid Video? Mm-hmm. He was their #1 director.
Okay.
Forever. He shot film. Shot tons of film. So all the films you could have watched possibly on Playboy or any other cable was from him.
Okay.
On film, on average, from Vivid. Anyways, he was a real sex guy.
Okay.
So he would say, what did he say? He says, why have sex without drugs?
I don't know. Sex without drugs is fun too.
What do you say? He's way out there, right? Mm-hmm. But drugs can make it crazy, right?
Yeah, they can make it better.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're an advocate of sex and drugs?
I'm an advocate of at least experimenting with that with someone you like.
Sex, drugs, rock and roll.
Yeah.
Let me give you everybody like a secret, because you sound like you're pretty extreme.
Oh, a little.
Yeah, right? You're an extremist, I think. Mm-hmm. I can already tell because you're telling me. Obviously. Yep. Anybody can tell. You just told me.
Right.
Who gets their pussies sewed shut? I mean, that really is crazy. Mm-hmm. So you must be tough too, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I'm not blowing my balls up or doing anything like that. But let's think about this. Because I go to this one therapy place. It works on my shoulders. This cryo. I used to do a lot of punching, striking, so my shoulders messed up. So whatever, I do all kinds of stuff. But this guy has this special sound. I did. Nacho asked me, you ever heard of Nacho Vidal? Uh-huh. He said, bro, can you find this for me? Because he heard about it. He's always up with technology. So I checked it out and I went and did it myself. Right? So he would understand. So we know that we're talking about the brain a little bit, pain and pleasure, all that. I mean, that's a long known idea, right?
Right.
Pain and pleasure. Mm-hmm. No pain, no gain. Whatever, right? Mm-hmm. But I'm going to give you something to try.
Okay.
Okay, since you're out there. I appreciate everybody that's out there. Who wants this just to be like a
normal
programmed robot, right? Like, you got a life and it goes quick. Mm-hmm. Matter of fact, before I go crazy, I'm going to say one quick thing. Be happy in life with your life because you'll be dead a long time.
It's true.
Right? That's spooky, right?
Yeah.
So when you think about it, you say, you know what? Well, I don't want that, so I better be happy. Anyway, so this sound program, sound system, or sound therapy is called New Calm. So that's NUCALM. They've got like 3 versions since the last time I checked it. So you might say like beginners, middle, and advanced, but they do different things to you.
Okay.
Right? Supposed to give you energy, supposed to regenerate you, reprogram you. And when I did it, because I did the heavy duty one first, I was whacked out. You know what I mean? Like, you almost start crying. You start thinking about stuff. It's so deep. And they don't even say anything. It's just music. And not lyrics, just do, do, do. And your brain starts going back and doing weird things.
Interesting.
Right? Very crazy. So what I'm saying is, if you are an extremist, what I recommend is to try a variation of things. Use the new calm. And the guy at this place, the therapy says, he does the toad and the new calm together.
I was just wondering that. I was like, yeah, it seems like it would go interesting in combination with something else.
Yeah, right. So your mushrooms to the new calm with the mushrooms, you know, it's a 30-minute to 45-minute session normally, but you can buy the program online for $20 a month or something like that.
Oh, cool. And then you just listen to it with your own headphones.
Exactly. I did it at the doc, whatever you want to call it, the cryotherapy place, you know.
Right.
But now they have it online where you can just, you know, get the headphones and program it into your iPod or whatever. But so do that with the mushrooms or the toad.
Okay. The mushrooms are easier to get a hold of in LA. Yeah.
Have you tried the toad?
No.
Okay, it's pretty radical.
Is it?
It's awesome.
Did you get sick? Like stomach issues or anything?
No, I think that's was Tosca or something.
Okay, yeah.
The toad, you take a big hit, and I swear to you, I took the hit, and I didn't even exhale. Boom, I'm gone. I didn't exhale, I just was there, took a big hit, Nacho gave it to me, right?
That makes sense.
And I was gone into another world.
Huh.
I didn't exhale, I just was gone. And guess what? There's nothing you can do about the world you're in. You can't get out of it. You can't say hello. It was just totally, but it was like something that kind of is spiritual. And it said something like what you might need to do in your life. So it's kind of more like a medicine, I believe.
Okay. So it's like meditative almost.
Yeah. It kind of tells you something.
Okay.
And it was only 10 minutes for me, or 5 or 10 minutes. Other people last longer, but...
Oh, but that's totally doable. Because, like, sometimes when it's a trip that's too long, I don't want any part of it. Because, like, I get to a point where I'm like, I'd like to not be tripping now.
Like mushrooms.
Yeah, mushrooms will do that to me. Sometimes I'm like, okay, I'm done. Because sometimes it's like 6 hours. And I'm like, I was done at like hour 3.5. And now I'm just like... Right. Over it.
Well, I would like to, since you're such a strong, you know, because you're strong to take your pussy. Come on.
Yeah.
You ready to be out there? If you think you're strong, get your nuts sewed
to the side of your leg or something.
Or your pussy, if you're a girl, you know, you think you're tough, go ahead, try it. Anyways. I would like to know if you did all that and then had sex together, you know, put the headphones on, you know, take the toad and have a guy, or the mushroom, excuse me, you know what I mean? Have a guy that you like, you're with, and then have sex, and then if you're really even crazier, try the bondage, right?
Oh, God.
You know what I mean? Like, woo!
Wait, are me and him both fucked up, or am I just the fucked up one and he has to deal with the bondage and stuff?
I think you should try it both ways.
Okay, really simple bondage.
Yeah.
Like just some like wrist cuffs or something.
Yeah, right. You know, you try it first without. That way you can enjoy it.
Right.
But anyways, that new calm is insane. Try it without it, but try without it and then try the. I think you'll
just start stacking things on.
Yeah,
see what works. See what's too much.
So we're giving a little bit of kind of spiritual, medical, and outlier information.
Yeah.
These are for the outliers, right?
Yeah.
So now you know. Anybody out there?
Should we have a disclaimer like, do this, but don't do it, but do it.
Right. Thank you very much. Yeah, do it, but don't do it. I didn't say it. She said it. Anyway, so let's go back to the pussy, because that's a serious thing.
Okay.
Right? So you sewed it shut. Mm-hmm. They took the Enjoy little rounded anal steel. I think a lot of steel, right? And it rubbed your G-spot, and you came through the sewed shut pussy.
Yeah.
First of all, did they use any type of Novocaine or?
No, that would ruin it.
Really?
Yeah, it was so terrible. like every once in a while, the company I worked for was Insects, and like I did that. I also, I did a thing where I like put a skewer through my own face when I was topping this other girl, and then I shoved another one through hers, and then I tied them together so we'd be like making out. What
the fuck? Say it one more time, please. I mean, this is beyond me.
Like, it's like, well, it wasn't like a barbecue skewer. It's like it was an epidural needle, so like a really long needle.
How diameter? How big?
I mean, it's fairly thick, but it's not
almost
horrible.
Like a crochet, a knitting needle. Similar
it's
to that?
thinner than that.
Thinner than that.
It's thinner than that. So it's not like, I mean, it's not. It's extreme, but it's not like shoving like a bamboo skewer or something through there. It was, I don't remember why. She had said that she wanted to do like more extreme stuff. It was Maddie O'Reilly. And she was like, I want to do like this really extreme stuff. And I was like, okay. And I was like, you know, it would be romantic.
Maddie O'Reilly is a girl or a company?
A girl.
A girl, okay.
A girl. She's a performer. But I think she's been like mostly retired for a couple of years now. But yeah, she wanted to do this insane thing, or she wanted to do something crazy. She didn't tell me what, and I was like, you know, it'd be romantic, as if we tied our faces together like we were making out forever. And she's like, and she was totally down. So
you proposed it?
Yes, I proposed it, and then I did it to myself first. And then I did it to her, but like...
Before we go too far, I want to know, is it safe to sleep with you at night? Or would you wake up with a fucking knife and you're pissed off?
You know what's crazy? I'm actually really pretty vanilla, like 90% of the time in my relationships.
But if you're pissed, would you kill somebody possibly?
Oh, no.
No? Okay.
No. If I'm pissed, I leave people. The only times I think about killing people is when I'm in love.
That's what I'm saying. If you're in love, sleeping next day piss you off.
But I would never think about that when I'm pissed. Like the last guy I was really into, I was like laying next to him in bed, and he's so beautiful. It's fucked up. But like I was like laying there and he's sleeping, and I was like, I just want to kill him. So like, but I called it, but not in an angry way. It's just like, I'm just like, oh, I like you so much. I feel like aggression about it. Yeah.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. When I'm angry, I leave the room. But when I'm like super, super in love, I'm like, oh, I just want to like squeeze you till you're dead. I don't know. It's terrible.
Well, I mean, because this is my point. Cause you're taking a skewer. Mm-hmm. And shoving it through your face. So shoving a knife through somebody's heart, big deal, right?
Right, but I don't want to kill anyone for real.
No, but I'm saying it's not gonna, you know.
No, I can get it through the tissue for sure.
I mean, so tell me about that. I mean, how does it feel?
That feels, it's a lot less uncomfortable than the pussy thing. Because it's a straight needle, so it just shoves right through, so it's more like a piercing. So if you do it quickly enough, like it's not that bad.
So it's a split second of pain, or
mm-hmm. Well, and for safety, like I used like Listerine, so that like the bacteria would be killed in my mouth, but Listerine also kind of numbs things up on the inside.
Really?
Mm-hmm. So it's like it wasn't like as extreme as far as pain goes.
Want me to tell you a crazy scientific or old historical fact?
Yes.
About Listerine?
Yeah. I love facts.
So the hookers in the Old West used to use Listerine to keep them clean from after they got fucking everybody.
Ow.
Ow, yeah.
Oh my God. I like realize that I've just talked about suturing my pussy shut, but like, ow. No. All that alcohol up in your junk. No.
Well, imagine what's floating around in the 1800s. I mean.
Yeah, and there was no antibiotics or anything.
Right. So you don't know what and you got all these cowboys and
they haven't showered.
Right, in 10 years.
Oh my God.
And some of those girls in Tombstone, Arizona, were doing 100 guys a night.
Hey, wow.
Right, so that's a lot of
strange dick.
There's a lot of sperm, right? A lot of shit going on there. Anyways, so back to you.
No, I'm going to be like thinking about that for a while. For like days. That's going to be in my head. I'm going to be telling people. I work for the next several days. I'm going to tell everyone before they have to have sex with me. I'll be like, you want to know a fun fact? Now get hard.
Right. Imagine sticking your dick in the Listerine.
Oh my God.
There's gonna be some leftovers inside the pussy, right?
That's ow for everyone involved. That sounds like the worst thing.
Right. But anyway, so I'm really, I'm maybe spending too much time on your piercing, but that really blows me away. So I want to make it clear to everybody, because for me, it's taken at least 2 times to understand it. You take this, a needle, you put it through yours, and you take it through the other person's too?
Yeah, well, it was 2 different skewers. So what I did was I shoved like one of these epidural needles through the side of my face here, and then through my mouth, and then back out this way. And then on her, I did the same thing with another needle through her face. And then I took a piece of twine and tied it like with her mouth open to the needle on her side, and then tied it to mine so that our faces were tied together.
So the faces are locked together, kind of. There
was like a little bit of a gap, just like, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you were French kissing and all
Yeah,
that?
so we were making out, but our faces were tied together and our cheeks were like bleeding. It was so...
Are you
so fucking...
bleeding? Oh my... So you got pictures of that?
Yeah, well, not... I do somewhere. I don't have pictures of like the blood because you can't put that anywhere.
Oh yeah.
So like we had to kind of keep everything clean, like for video and stuff, because like this is in a movie. But yeah,
I'll take a clean picture. You got it?
Let me see.
Can I use it?
Yeah. Let me see. Okay, you still can't see the needle through my face very well, but like we had to like, so it's like just like little epidural needles through them.
Okay. Can I use it?
Totally. Yeah.
All right, so we got the picture here. It's hard to see because the needles aren't super big, but try sticking a needle through your face.
Yeah, yeah. It's like a piercing needle.
So there's twine there. The needles were in the center of the cheek, and they were kissing.
Because we're romantic like that.
Did you like the girl?
Oh, yeah. I like it. Yeah, yeah. She's fun.
Oh, yeah. You have some feeling, yeah?
Yeah, she got a big ass. It's like a thing.
All right, you like big asses?
Yeah, if some girls got an ass that I could like see myself suffocating in, I'm probably gonna be into her.
Are you serious? Yeah. Wow, you're out there. Because let me tell you, that my company, I believe my company, and I created so many genres, but my company probably, I think, is the founder. I mean, or at least one of the founders, really, of big asses. Everybody's copied all my big ass pictures. I mean, John Stagliano is the butt man, but he's not into giant asses. I had asses in my movies, that probably, my company, Evasive Angles, probably the girls measured 80, 90 inches asses. That's a pretty big ass, maybe even 100 inches, some of them. Some are BBWs.
Right.
But there's like, so a 40-inch ass is pretty...
That's huge. That's a big butt.
Pretty small. In
yours.
world.
Okay, because my butt's around 40 inches. Yeah. I like Jocelyn James. I don't know if you know who she is. She's got like this huge ass that the last time I worked with her, I was almost bossy about it. I was like, just fucking sit on my face. Just, I don't even want to breathe. Just kill me with it. I'm like, I want the cause of death on my like death certificate to be listed as like Jocelyn James's ass. Wow.
I mean, to me, you sound like a serious porno star. Like a serious about your craft. You sound really serious. You're a serious. I mean, because there's people in porno that have levels. I do a boy girl. I work with just white guys. I might do a girl. There's some girls that I love deep throat and I love doing anal. I love doing gangbangs. I love, double penetration. I love 3 dicks in my ass. You know what I mean? Right. So there's all these levels, I've seen over the years, but I mean, you're all the way rounded. Because I know you do, the double anal. But I don't want to talk about that yet. But I mean, you're a serious porno star. You're a serious high caliber sex machine.
Yeah, I like all the chocolates in the box.
Yeah, I love it. There was a girl. For some reason, I get the vibe from you a little bit of Gina Fine. You ever heard of Gina Fine?
No.
Gina Fine was a pretty strong girl, and she was pretty serious about sex. You know what I mean? But I think you're even more serious. But Gina Fine was from the 80s and 90s.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But she was hot and she was serious. You know what I mean? She was at that point in time, she was the master of deep throating.
Okay.
And she would take any dick and deep throat it, pretty much.
Amazing.
12-inch dicks, you know what I mean? And, you know, so she was, and she was, in the 80s, I thought she was pretty, you know what I mean? In the 90s, she was nice looking, but in the 80s, she was hot, you know what I mean? Anyways, I work with her a lot of times. But, so you like big asses. That's beautiful. You appreciate everything. Mm-hmm. That's wonderful. Because my company's all about asses, and asses. So people say what they want, but there's so much ass in my company. You know what I mean? So many big asses. So
it's like such a feminine feature, I think, like, because guys don't grow asses the way like women can. It's all
right, hold on. I was in Brazil.
Okay.
Right? All right. I don't want to talk too much about
You're going to challenge me on this, huh?
No, but you're 100% right. Except there's always
that one exception
to the rule. Mm-hmm. So here I am with my girlfriend in Rio in Carnival, right?
Okay.
And we're watching the parades go by. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to pull it up. Fuck it. I'm going to pull this motherfucker up. I still got it on my phone, I think. Right? And we're watching these fucking, they're all about shaking their asses. The girls. Brazilians have great asses. Have you been to Brazil? Mm-hmm. I shot a lot of movies in Brazil.
Yep. Well, they have like a whole like competition for like the best asses in Brazil, and it's like this big thing.
Really?
Colombia does too. Yeah. Oh gosh, yeah. When you have time, look it up.
I'm the pioneer of Colombia.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, they have like what is it? It's like I forget what they call it because it's in Spanish, but yeah, it's like the best ass competition in Colombia, and it's like these gorgeous women with these amazing asses, really? And like none of them are fake. They just are like perfect women.
I was shooting porno in Colombia when you were still getting kidnapped in 1998.
Oh, that's terrifying.
Yeah, I mean, girls would pull their tops down with bindles of cocaine stuck in there, right?
Wow.
It was a wild, me and Nacho, right? Anyways, but I didn't know that about Colombia, but Brazil, Brazil is notorious for small waist, big asses. But so we're at the carnival watching the parades. It's all about the parades. Each territory has their own parade, almost like the over here in Pasadena, the Rose Parade, the Rose Bowl Parade,
right?
The Tournament of Roses Parade. Everybody has their own neighborhood, bands or a bank. Everybody showing off their own thing. So in Brazil, they're showing off their floats and their bodies because they're beautiful. There's a lot of beautiful bodies in Brazil, girls.
Right.
The guys are in good shape too. I don't like guys, but if you're in good shape, I can respect it. You know what I mean? Because anybody can eat food all day long. It's hard to stay in shape and stay lean.
Exactly.
It takes dedication. Anyways, so we're watching this fucking parade, boom, 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 the noise is so boom, and you see this ass at the top of the parade, 20, 30 feet tall, whatever, shake it, bow, go, that's a pretty nice ass, right? All oiled up, you know what I mean? Turns around, it's a dude.
But you still appreciated the ass when you didn't know.
I don't appreciate it now because that made me, right? But let me see if I can find it.
Okay.
I think I caught it for a split second.
I think it would even put me off if it was a dude, and I like dudes, but I don't want to see a girl's ass on a dude. I don't think it'd be like too weird. It'd be like a human centipede sort of thing. It was
like yikes. You know what I mean? I mean, I think that if you probably do squats and this and that, and I think you could probably do a guy. And
then there's some like genetics involved, yeah.
Well, let me tell you also about Brazilian girls on a whole. A lot of girls can do this sometimes, but Brazilian girls on a whole. I'm full of information, but it's about you. But Brazilian girls have so much male hormones in them, I think. That's the definition we might want to call, that I've seen more giant dick clits on Brazilian girls than any other girls.
Interesting.
I've seen 2-inch long, maybe 2.5-inch long clits with heads and dicks on them.
Interesting, because I see those on like girls that do like the bodybuilding stuff, and then they, you know, take the testosterone or whatever to like get really, really. But I think those clits are so fun. Like,
I used to tell the actors, "Go ahead, suck that dick."
Yeah.
Suck that fucking clit as a girl, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was just talking shit. But anyways.
But I bet it feels good. I don't know. For the girl, for the guy, it might be off-putting, but for the girl, I'm like, that's gotta feel amazing. Like, and when I work with girls that do like bodybuilding stuff, and then they have like all that extra testosterone, I'm just like, oh my God, I have to play with it.
Totally. A girl with a big clit is way easier to get off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So press the arrow.
Wow. That is a beautiful backside. Huh. That's okay, huh?
That's a fucking dude.
That's like a perfectly round, perfect butt.
Yeah. I'm going to show everybody in TTBoy TV land, okay? This is in Rio, probably about 5 years ago. Anyways, so back to you know, all your stuff. I mean, because I'm stuck on this so long, so we got to move on, but I can't because I still want to hear more. I still haven't got everything out of the pussy. You know what I mean? I'm all about the pussy. Right? When I work with a girl, I always try to make her come as much as I can. So I want to get everything I know about this pussy. So you know, because this is still fascinating. I'm going to make it fast. We're going to get out of this and move on. So you're sewed up. Mm-hmm. You're getting, you know, a dildo up your ass to hit the G-spot, and you're squirting. Do you squirt or you just kind of leak?
At that, you just kind of leak because like everything is in the way. So it was more like just like the fluid kind of like.
Are you a squirter or no?
I do squirt.
You squirt? Okay.
Yeah, but like with everything closed up, it just kind of like seeps through. So.
It's beautiful. I mean, I love it. Let's say a dry pussy has got to go, but a nice wet, you know, that's what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, nobody likes dry pussies.
Right. It's like a soft dick probably, right?
Yeah, well, that's how I feel. Like,
so it was painful, but it felt good. I mean, what more is there to say? That's it? It's just anything else you can add on?
Good. No, not really. It was just a lot.
Did it hurt when they put the needle in?
That's what actually hurt. Once the needle and everything is through, there's almost no pain at all anymore. So like once they were making me come, like I wasn't in pain anymore. It was just like my senses were heightened because I was in so much pain. But at that point, like once it was all closed up and they weren't like pushing a needle through anymore, it was pretty fine. It was painless. I could have wandered off and gone to dinner like that.
Really? Mm-hmm. So you could walk around no problem?
I did that once in my personal life.
So you did it again?
I did it again because I thought it was really cute. And I was dating this guy. And I was dating this guy, and he was like a lifestyle BDSM person. I was like, I want you to like sew this up because I'm really into anal too. I was like, I want you to sew this up. We're going to go out to dinner. We're going to have some drinks. You're going to come back and you're going to like fuck me in the ass and like never touch my pussy. And he's like, I can do that. And that's what we did.
Wow, I think you're so shy about it. I'm going to find out why you're such a bad girl. I know a lot of things. Wow, that's interesting. I would be like, I love the pussy, so let me get the scissors.
Right. Well, I mean, that happens eventually. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah. How long did that last before you cut it?
Like only a few hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you just cut it, so it didn't hurt after that? Just, okay. All right. That's unbelievable. I mean, that's one of the most shocking stories I've ever heard. No, you know. Oh, really? You know. And you got a super pretty pussy, so you know.
Thank you. And it looks the same afterward. It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I see it in the pictures. I didn't see it in real life. Everybody. But the picture looks nice, long, and fat, the way I like them. And I'm not joking. Okay.
I believe you.
Okay. So let's go back to porno. Well, you know, is there any other stories you want to tell me? You know, let's get one more story out of what you've done as a dominant person to somebody who's a submissive. Can you give me one of those radical examples? Like, you made him cry.
I've made lots of people cry. You know, I did, and I don't do ball busting anymore because it makes me super nervous. Because you can. What
is that?
It's when you repeatedly kick a nice gentleman in the balls. It's a
what the fuck?
It's a whole thing. It's like
I think I've heard that, but I don't really, I don't.
Yeah, and well, there's a skill to it because there's like safety concerns about it. But there's a guy that I worked with a while back that's like the way he gets hard, and he has trouble getting hard in any other way. So the first time I worked with him, I just did like a ball busting scene with him, where like that was the focus. We're doing ball busting, and then we're gonna like make him come. And then the second time I worked with him, it was for somebody else, and it was this wrestling thing. And at the end, we were supposed to have sex, and he couldn't get hard. And he's like, "Can you just punch me in the balls a little bit so that he could get like fucking hard?" But yeah, he was probably the most extreme as far as like the visible damage I've done to somebody, because it was so swollen and purple and messed up that like. But I don't do that anymore because I'm afraid of sending someone to the hospital. But
I mean, that's a serious.
You can injure someone pretty bad like that. Yeah.
That's the family jewels.
Mm-hmm. Well, and it's like, and even if the dude is okay with it, because there's a lot of girls that actually do this that I know that like also just do regular porn, and they're like, well, if the guy says he wants to do it, then it's not really your responsibility. And I'm like, yeah. It's not, but like if I sent someone to the emergency room with a testicular torsion, I'd still like blame myself, even if he told me to do it, So I don't, but yeah, that's probably the most extreme thing that I don't do anymore.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, that's nice. You seem sweet. No, I mean, really, you don't, sometimes, let's face the fact, sometimes we're in this business and we're getting paid money.
Yeah.
Right? So you're getting paid to do a job. And if you're nice enough to say, no, I'm not going to do that because I don't want to hurt somebody, but you're still going to pay me to do it, and say, no, I don't do it. So you're losing money possibly. Right. So it's very nice. Everybody understand it. Yeah, it's a fact. Did you get paid? You got paid to do this? Mm-hmm. How much did they pay you for the shish kebab on your?
Oh, the shish kebab was, well, I think that was only like $1,600 for that day.
How about the pussy?
That one was $4,000.
$4,000.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, you got a lot of spirit.
You get some spare time afterward.
Some what?
You get some spare time afterward. Like it's like you make $4,000, and then you take 4 days to heal, and then
to heal. Okay.
And then you go back to work.
Oh, it took 4 days to heal. Okay.
That didn't really take 4 days to heal, but I just sort of scheduled 4 days to heal just in case.
Oh yeah, it took a day or two. It had a scab or no?
It didn't. It was almost like that same night after it came out. It was back to normal. I didn't think it would be that fast, but your genitals heal quickly, it seems. Yeah.
Like the mouth heals quickly too. Mm-hmm. If you get a cut or a punch in the face,
Yeah, anyone that's had like a tongue ring or a lip ring that they've taken out and like not put back in right away. Because I had a tongue ring and I took it out, and I think like within a few hours I couldn't get one back in.
Wow. Maybe you heal fast.
Yeah.
Maybe no, you never know.
I'm like a superhuman. I'm like Wolverine.
You're an ex-woman.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, you told me about the kicking the balls, but as the dominant person, I know you tie somebody up. I mean, I've seen it before. Mm-hmm. There was a girl back in the day, Karina Collins. She was really hot, sexy. Have you heard of her? Anyway, so she was from the 80s and 90s. She loved the bondage. The first example I ever saw of spanking her, and she would start coming. Right. I was like, whoa, this is beyond me, because I'm like from the middle of nowhere, come and do this.
Right.
Like, who does this, right? And as I learned, girls like to be smacked, choked, Some people say I was rough, but I was only rough if the girl liked it. So, I never was ever against the girl. I like the girls, Anyway.
Yeah, you can always, like, I can tell the difference when a guy comes in rough and it's like, there's a suspicious thing about it where I'm like, who hurt you?
Yeah, right. That's a good point. Yeah. I'm with the girl, to bring her up or bring her down.
Right.
But, so that's kind of your job as a dominant person, to bring somebody up and bring him down. But I, you know, have seen it firsthand, but a lot of people haven't seen it or heard of it out there in TV land. So you tie the guy up, you take, what do? What is it normally? You take a whip, you take the...
it really depends, like, on the scene. I mean, and I don't always do bondage. Sometimes it's just like the sadism stuff. But I came into it with bondage, and that was my focus. So I do a lot of rope bondage and things, but I feel like you kind of, like, the best way to go about pain stuff is to start really slow and, like, start with, like, lighter things like floggers and sort of escalate it and feel the person out and, like, see how they're reacting to different stuff.
A flogger is what exactly?
It's like it's a whip with, like, multiple tails. So, and it's like, they're, like, thicker and leather. So it's a much softer implement as opposed to like a narrow whip.
Okay, so at the end of the whips or little strands or balls?
No.
Oh, so it's just normal.
It's just a strap of leather. So it's just multiple really, like, soft straps of leather. Okay. And you can get it to hurt, but you have to, like, go pretty hard with it. So it's a really nice tool for sort of warming people up.
Okay.
Because once you start, like, with a little pain, then you can take more and more and more.
I've got one of those, yeah. I mean, you know, I like to get the girl excited.
Right.
You're bad!
Because you're giving like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's not my thing, really. You know what
right.
I mean?
But no, I almost think that's like almost better when a guy's like, it's not really my thing, but I'll do it for you. It's like, oh, that's sweet.
I like to go deep in your head, bring out some kinky stuff. That's my thing. But I can go so deep in your head and scare you. You know what I mean? But this
interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Like, ooh, yeah. Tell me more.
I've had some of the prettiest girls, and sometimes pretty girls have so many guys that love them. Right? I mean, you know, and worship them that they get bored.
This is true.
You know what I mean? So what are you going to bring them that's going to get them interested? Oh, you got to fuck me? Oh, okay. Everybody wants to fuck them, right? So they've already been fucked by a lot of nice-looking guys or whoever, whatever. So how do you stimulate their body and mind? You know, you got to do it together. Anyways, so I know, you know, that girls, pretty girls, especially super pretty girls, are so, you know, flim-flam. So you really got to get them their head twisted up, you know, for sexually, you know what I mean, to get it off or get them, you know, interested. Anyways, so you're beating you take this, you get them warmed up, and then what else?
Well, honestly, it usually depends on what they like. So when I'm having a conversation before I top somebody, I'll try to kind of figure out, like, what their thing is. Because some people, it's not about pain exactly. It's just about the lack of control. So I'll do, like, a whole bunch of orgasm control stuff with people. So, like, I'll, like, mess with a guy and get him, like, really close to coming and then stop, like, stimulating him and then, like, get back to it. And, like, you know, and you can spend quite a bit of time with, like, tease and denial things. And so, like, sometimes it's that, or sometimes it's impact. So for me, what I do, or, like, I just did a scene with a guy where it was like I took a riding crop to, like, his scrotum and just went after him. But it's because, like, that's what he responds the best to. So I suppose, like, even when I top, it's not necessarily about what I want to do. It's about, like, whatever that other person wants to do and, like, what I'm willing to do. If that makes sense.
Oh, yeah. So sometimes you're not willing to go actually kick butt.
For, like, ball busting, yeah. I'm not willing to do ball busting. Yeah.
So that means that you're at this level, so there's other girls that could do some fucked up shit. Or guys, whatever, right?
Yeah, and there's guys, yeah, there's people that will go much harder than me. There's people that go much harder than me. Sometimes with people that top, like again with the ball busting, like, you can do ball busting and still be concerned about the safety of your scene partner. I don't think that everyone that does that is necessarily concerned about the safety of their scene partner. And because I've met girls that are like, well, I don't take any responsibility. He told me to do it. And I'm like, yeah, but you should still be concerned about the safety of your scene partner. Like if I tell a dude to choke me out, I'm going to still expect that he's going to stop choking me before I'm dead from it. Right. And so I think, but I mean, I guess there's just like a difference in, I don't know. Yeah.
So you're a nice person. So you don't want to,
I don't want to hurt anyone on accident. Like all pain must be from love. Like,
I'm going to bring up a quick scene. I always like to share stories. Mm-hmm. There was this girl I was working with. She was kind of petite, but not super petite, but fairly petite, right? Mm-hmm. She was a Russian girl. This is probably 1996. I worked for John T. Bone. He died, but he was a cool director. And this girl is, fuck me harder, you fucking piece of shit. Right? And she's going crazy, right?
Okay.
And she might even call me a poodle dick, you know what I mean? Which I don't
know what that means.
It's like she's just trying to get you pissed off.
Okay.
Right? I got a pretty good sized dick, you know what I mean? So I fucking, okay, I'll fuck you harder, right? No problem. And I yanked on her neck, on her hair. Uh-huh. And she maybe went forward at the same time, right? Oh, and I swear to God, her neck. I was like, uh-oh. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's how dangerous sex can be sometimes.
Yeah.
And I thought I broke her neck. You know, and I would have been, you know.
Did you like pull some tendons and stuff in there? Or
no, her bones cracked and she was okay.
Okay.
I don't even think we stopped.
Wow.
But I was scared, you know what I mean?
Right.
I was like, what the fuck? And she was, you know, I liked working with her. She was sexy, you know what I mean? She loved anal. She was, you know, but she was, her name was Mila. Anyways, I think I brought that story before, but it's kind of like that, you know, it correlates with, you know.
Yeah, I think that you have to care about the person that you're.
Oh, kill.
Yeah. Neither of us want to actually kill anyone. I think that's what we've established here.
Right. So we're done with the bond. So how much you get paid for the bondage? You know, people like to know these interesting things.
It's about the same, like a standard scene rates. So if it's a girl scene, it's still like a girl rate usually. Sometimes if you're bottoming, you get paid a little bit more than if you're topping.
1,000 to 1,500, something like that.
Yeah. So, but like if you're topping for a girl scene or a boy girl scene, either one, then generally the rate is about the same because you're not really taking on any risk physically yourself, but the other person is, so they might get paid more.
Do people contact you directly for bondage?
Yeah. I mean, Insects and like those companies that I started with, always contacted me directly. But they're not shooting anymore since the pandemic. They stopped. And then kink.com always went through my agent, just like everyone else.
Okay. And you have fans only? OnlyFans or what?
Yeah, I have OnlyFans.
What's it called?
It's London Sea River.
Okay.
Oh, no. Actually, if you go to londonseariver.com, it'll go to my OnlyFans. And then I have a BDSM clip store, and it's Captive Rose on Clips for Sale. So it's like clips.captiverose.com.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Everybody, go check it out. All right.
Go check it out.
All right, so let's go. You know, we got into the BSDM or bondage. You started in what year? Porno. And why did you start?
I started in 2012, I guess. Well, I mean...
Fucking and sucking.
Oh, the actual fucking stuff. That was 2000. Oh, it was 3.5 years ago. That would be like 2018, right?
End of 17 or?
Yeah, it was in September is when I signed my agency contract, and I'm bad at math. So 2017, 2018.
Okay. Why did you start?
Why? Mm-hmm. Because I was a stripper and I wanted to charge more for lap dances.
Oh man, stripping's hard sometimes, right?
Yeah, it is.
I always say to myself, this is so possibly detrimental to your spirit as a stripper, going around, can I sit on your lap? No, scram, you know, almost like that, right? Mm-hmm. Some people I'm sure are disrespectful.
Oh yeah.
You know, and I'm just like, man, that's a hard job.
It'll either destroy you or it'll make you like a lot stronger. So for me, like, it's really hard to give me criticism that's really gonna like that I'm going to hold on. I don't hold on to things very much, but I think it's because I started dancing when I was 18. And so I've just dealt with rejection kind of every single night for, you know, my whole adult life. And now I'm just like, yeah, you can't say anything to me.
Right.
And have it stick. Like somebody will say something shitty and I'll be like, oh, that was so rude. And then I move on with my life. So.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. It's like getting punched in the face all the time. You learn how to stick your hands up, kind of.
Yeah.
So you don't get hurt, you know?
Yep.
And so that's cool. So, I mean, so it is kind of hard, but so you started stripping at 18 years old because you were, you know, for money. Obviously, you like freedom and money, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I was in college and I wanted to be able to have a really flexible schedule while I was in school.
And so you started stripping at 18 years old for money. Where did you start stripping at?
Nebraska. I'm from Nebraska.
What city?
Lincoln.
Lincoln? Is there a lot of people there or small population?
Like 250,000.
How much would you make a night?
There, anywhere between, it was kind of like where I ended up dancing, it was like between like $200 and $1,000 in a night.
That's cool. So it helped pay the bills.
Yeah, well, when you're 18 years old in a place with a really low cost of living, that's a lot of money, actually. Yeah.
I mean, compared to the minimum wages back then, it's probably about.
It was like $6.30 an hour back then was minimum wage. Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks.
That ages me too.
Yeah, I mean, like porno, you know what I mean? Like I was talking to some of the old porn stars, and some of the old porn stars were making $1,000, $2,000 a day.
But like back
in 1980.
Yeah.
82, 83, 84. I mean, you know, Ginger Lynn or, you know, or
yeah. That's like,
Tracy
that's
Lords
mad money. Yeah.
And the minimum wage was like $250.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's crazy, right? You don't got to do anything. You got, you know. And I used to watch a lot of girls come in, probably just like you. You get paid $1,000, $2,000 a scene when they're brand new, and sometimes they work 30 days a month, 2 scenes a day, and that's a lot of money, you know.
Yeah.
What I mean? You know, in the 90s and thousands. Anyway, so back to your stripping. So you make that money, and it's freedom. So you know, we're not going to go so much in stripping because we want to know about the porno kind of.
Right.
So you said I'm sick of lap dances.
Well, not that I'm sick of lap dances. I just wanted to make more money per lap dance. And so if somebody's, you know, recognizes your name from somewhere else, now you can charge more.
For dancing too?
Yeah. So like when I got into porn, it was for dancing. It was like to make more money dancing.
Featuring?
I didn't even think about featuring. I feature now, or I did before the pandemic, but that wasn't even like in my head as like a possibility because I've always been a house girl. Okay. And so I was like, I just want to charge these people, because at the time I was living in Vegas, and I was like, I just want to charge these people that come here more money for my time. But now I don't even dance. I just feature dance here and there. So it didn't turn out the way I expected, but it turned out good. It was fine.
You get paid good money featuring? Mm-hmm. How much do you want to share that? Or
Oh, it kind of depends. Like generally speaking, it's like $1,500 to show up and do like 1 or 2 stage sets in a night. And then I also get money when I give lap dances and sell merchandise and stuff. So it's really good money for the amount of work that I end up doing. Because it's almost no work. It's like...
Oh, yeah. 10 minutes of dancing or something?
Yeah.
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 I understand. I used to have a girlfriend that would do that, feature dance. Mm-hmm. Dominique Simone, she was a black girl way back in like 1990, 1991. Mm-hmm. She'd go to Market Street Cinema in Frisco all the time. It's gone now, but it was a real landmark strip place, seedy. Right. Real seedy, if you know what I mean. You know, anyways, it was a cool place. But I know what you mean. But anyway, so you did that for dancing, but then did it turn out better because it was fun, or is it what you expected in porno when you first?
Yeah, I liked porn a lot better than I thought I would.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was like really stressed out about it at first, because it's weird when I'm stripping, I'm not very shy, because I feel like I'm sort of in charge of things. Like if somebody's rude, I can just walk away from them or whatever. So I don't like have that feeling of like being trapped. But in porn is almost like a normal job in some ways, where like you show up to set and people are paying you to be there, so they expect you to like put up with their nonsense to an extent. And that was a hard adjustment for me, actually, when I started with porn. So I'd always have like all this anxiety, because I'm like, if somebody's rude to me when I show up to work, I can't tell them to just go fuck themselves and get in my car and leave. But I can do that when I dance. If somebody's rude to me, I'm like, oh, well, you can go fuck off, you know, chode dick motherfucker. Like, I don't need anything to do with you. Like, nobody, yeah. So that was hard. It was a hard adjustment. But luckily, most people are nice.
Yeah, I mean, you can still tell somebody to fuck off on a set.
You can, but when you're newer, like, that just means that, like, they're going to tell everyone that you're a bitch, and now nobody's going to hire you, so.
Yeah, news travels fast.
Yeah.
In my time, it was a much smaller community, so it really was kind of touchy, but this, porno's I don't know, I'm not even in it anymore, so, but, you know, it seems a lot bigger, but.
It's, like, there's so many of us.
Right.
Yeah.
People, yeah.
There's people that are so popular and I've never heard of them, and then I'll show up and they're like, you don't even know who I am, and I'm like, I'm sorry, like, I don't watch that much porn. Like,
it's crazy, right? Yeah. In my time, yeah, you knew all the popular people, but there's still popular people you probably can't not know.
Exactly,
right?
There are, but yeah.
So let's, you know, because I know when I first started, it was very mysterious in the 80s. You know what I mean? It's crazy. There's no internet. There's no, you get little VHSs, you know what I mean? And it's way different. So how was your first time on a set? Were you scared? Were you nervous? Excited? And how did you get connected into it? Both those questions.
My first time on set, I was, I was super freaked out. I actually hardly remember it, because everything, well, we're talking about like a regular boy-girl set, right? It wasn't a regular boy-girl scene, my first scene. Like, it was like I signed with my agent, and then I went to do a scene, and it was for Dog Fart, and it was like, originally it was like a boy girl, and then they changed it to a boy girl, and then they changed it to a boy girl, and then I showed up and they're like, do you want to do anal today? And I was just like, so it was like so many things happened, and like obviously the rate was increasing, so I'm like, sure. And I like anal in my life anyway, so I was like, whatever, sure, I put it in my ass. But it was like, so many things changed that I don't know that I got the chance to be nervous about it, because I was like, what the fuck is going on? So I was just like, everything is different. And then like, I don't even hardly remember the scene.
Really? Were you nervous the night before, or?
Yeah, I was nervous the night before, but the day of, it was such a whirlwind of people just changing what's going on. And like, I realized that like people would tell me that that's really unprofessional and they shouldn't have done that. But it kind of worked out, because like, I think it actually made the scene a little bit better, because like, it made it so that like, I like just didn't have time to deal with my anxiety, or like, it was just like, yeah.
You know what? In a bigger scene like that, less pressure, not focused on you directly.
That also helps. There were all like, and everyone else was experienced. So it was like it was like 3 other performers that were there to help me. And that I think was probably beneficial too. Cause they're like, you know, it was like the dude just like, move me. he's like, you need to do this. And we're gonna, so it made it much better than if it was like me and somebody that's also new.
Were the actors good actors? They're cool, or? They
were so great.
Yeah. Who were they? You remember?
One of them was Rico Strong. And then, and the other guy, I don't remember his name.
Well, I guess he was not memorable, huh?
And he was pleasant, but I guess not that memorable, and I haven't worked with him again. And then Dee Williams was the other female performer. She's like another MILF actress.
Oh, is she blonde?
She's blonde. She got really short hair.
Is she old or no?
She's like 40 something.
I thought I used to one of my movies. But you know, there's a lot of girls, so I did it.
I mean, she's in her 40s. I don't think that's old, but
this girl's probably, I don't know. Anyway,
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. So, anyways, that's cool. So you know, so it was okay. They paid you fair, and they were good people there working.
Yeah, they paid me fair, and it was lovely people, and just like a really weird day of work. It was like the scene after that I was more like dealt with the nerves way more. So.
And so after that, you were like, this is cool, or this is...
After, you know, I would say that I was like a ball of anxiety for like 3 months. But I worked a lot, so like it worked for everyone. Everyone seemed okay with it, but yeah.
Oh, so you were, when you get there, you were always kind of nervous on the sets?
I was always nervous on set, and even now, like if it's a new set and I don't know everyone, which usually I know everybody when I go to work at this point. But every once in a while, I'll be someone that I've never worked for before, and I'm just like, oh my God,
really?
Yeah.
That's crazy, right? Because a lot of people don't know, but yeah, back in the day, there was big directors, right? This is way more mysterious back then. You're working with this director as a film, right?
Right.
This superstar, or you know, and you had big sets. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. A lot of people there. It's not little cameras; they're big cameras, right? A lot of people. Right. Sometimes 20, 30 people. Yeah. Right, so you fucking feel the anxiety,
and like every once in a while, there's usually you don't recognize a name of someone that you're gonna work with, but then all of a sudden you do, and like my first week, I think it was like my 4th scene, was with Manuel. And I like see this come up, and like my agent sends me this. I'm like, I can't work with Manuel because he's so popular, and like lost my mind. I was like, I'm gonna throw up. I can't, because like because how many awards has he won and shit? And I'm like, yeah, like that's like what he's using them for doorstops now.
Right, Manuel was on my podcast, right, and he I think he's won 100 awards. I think he said. He won 14 Male Performers of the Year.
Yeah.
That's incredible. So they love him.
So many awards.
Unbelievable.
But it's very intimidating until you like meet him, and then he's not intimidating. But like beforehand, when I was like driving to set, I was like, I fucking can't do this.
That's cool. Yeah, he's a nice guy. Yeah.
Yeah, he's really nice.
The girls love him. He actually came to my house, I think in 2001. I think when he just got to America. Mm-hmm. Rocco, I had a boxing party. Rocco brought him over, and he goes, "This guy's is going to do good in America because you know I think he just got to America. I think you know what I mean." Mm-hmm. I saw him. He didn't speak much English. You know what I mean? I said, "Hey, how you doing?" And we hung out during the night. He didn't say much to me, but that's the first time I met him. He's a very nice guy. Mm-hmm. And yeah, he's done so well for him. I've seen so many people come and go. You know what I mean? But this is 2001 at my house. Yeah,
and he's still winning awards.
Yeah, he's still working. I mean, he's a strong guy. In his interview, I learned about him. He's a pretty strong guy. You know, mentally too, you know what I mean? Yeah. Physically and mentally.
Yeah, he's really cool. We've worked together a lot at this point and like had some nice conversations and stuff. He's a good person.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. You had some good scenes too? How is it working with Manuel?
Fucking amazing. Yes. like at this point, if I'm booked with him, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna come so much. Like I almost start to like plan ahead. I'm like, should I just Uber to set because I'm gonna be too tired to drive home? Like, wow, yeah, really? Yes. The last 2 times I worked with him, because now we've worked together several times, so he like knows all of the buttons. Mm-hmm. And like the last 2 times I had to like pull over and take a nap. I was like, I'm not going to make it home.
Wow, really?
Stop like a drunk person. Yeah.
So he's got your number. Mm-hmm, yeah. So basically you need him with the new calm, the mushrooms.
Oh God.
And all that together. You might not wake up, huh? And the toad, right?
Be like, and that's the end of London River.
So he's great, huh?
Yeah, he's great.
Is he your favorite guy? You won't hurt anybody's feelings.
Well, I don't know, because I have a few favorites for like different things, I suppose. But he's probably my favorite for just like a gonzo scene. That's just like, yeah.
What does he do? What is he? Is it his look? He fucks you hard. His dick, everything. What is it? So much, because everybody has their own style. Sometimes, sometimes they're similar, but sometimes they're not.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think because I've seen like how he shoots with other girls, and there's and the way other girls talk about him and stuff, and there's like girls that I know do not fuck like I do, and they're still like just adore him, right? So I think that he has a talent for sort of feeling someone out and adjusting to what they're going to find interesting and also what's going to make them look the best. So like he does some pretty extreme stuff with me, but I know that he's not a super extreme guy. But then he'll be like, you know, he's tall and he's got big hands. And so he'll like sit there and do a fisting bit with me or something like that. And I'm like, I know that you're not doing like, this is for me. You know? All right. Yeah, I can. Like I'm like it's really sweet that you're like doing, and like some of just like he'll like slap me around and stuff, and I'm like, this is so for me.
Really? I like it rough.
I like it rough, but like, and I know that like for him, that's not like necessary, but he knows that I like it, so he just like will go for it, and like I'm like that's kind of a special guy.
Yeah, I think he's a very serious guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've talked to him. Like I said, he's very serious. So I think he takes it to wherever he goes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's the way I am. I'm pretty serious. I'm a very serious person. But yeah, I mean, I respect him, and that's good to hear that. You know, because I like him.
Mm-hmm.
He's right. So he's one of your favorites. Mm-hmm. He fucks good and does your buttons to get you going.
Yeah.
Okay. So who else is a guy that you like working with?
I like working with Prince quite a bit.
Prince Joshua?
Mm-hmm.
He's a cool guy.
Yeah.
So he fucks you good? He knows how to twist your buttons, or he just fucks you good? What?
He fucks me good, and he and I are also, like, we're pretty close friends. And so it's just, like, there's, like, a comfort all the time. Like we can hang out and stuff. Like, we rap well together and everything. And then also, like, we, make a good scene. But...
So he makes you come a lot too?
Yes, he does.
Does he fist you and smack you? Or
no, he's not. He doesn't. That's not something you can get him to do.
All right.
Like, he's not a smacking people around sort of guy. No.
I can smack you around. That's interesting. So you tell people he doesn't like that. It might turn him off.
Well, and I've had people order customs from me because people try to buy customs from me for certain content. And they want me to do like BDSM scenes, and they'll throw Prince out. Like they're like, do a BDSM scene with Prince. And I'm like, he's not going to hit me. Like, that's not his thing. Like, you have to pick a different dude. And I think that's a lot of things fans don't get. They're like, well, you do BDSM and you work with Prince, so you guys should do a BDSM scene together. And I'm like, well, that's just not how life works. Because that's not his thing.
No, that's interesting. That's good information for people to know.
Mm-hmm.
So is there another, who makes you come more? Man, well, it sounds...
Oh, my God.
But hey, this is as far as I go, but I go this far. Who makes you come more? Oh, man, well, I already know, because you just said it. Yeah, you already said it.
I'm just like, you.
All right, we don't have to...
Yeah. Well, it's because of just like,
He knows the buttons,
like,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to know the buttons, That's what, the buttons usually come with a lot of experience, knowing what buttons, knowing a girl,
Mm-hmm.
So who is another guy? Is that it, the two?
Like I said, it depends on what I'm doing with stuff with. So if I'm doing like bondage and like corporal, like if I'm getting flogged and stuff, Derek Pierce is the only person I'll do that with. Because he's really experienced at it, and he's like, yeah.
So he's more of a bondage guy, not a real performer, or?
Oh no, he's a huge performer. He's not like as big as Manuel and stuff, but like he performs a ton. I almost never work with him outside of BDSM because I'm kind of we get stuck in these boxes, and people have decided for the most part that I'm like a gonzo performer. And they're like, yeah, let's cast her, put a whole bunch of stuff in her butt, or like do like a really short script. And he does all these features, and then we end up coming together when it's bondage. But like, yeah, I think he usually works for like Gamma on their longer features and Wicked and stuff like that, like shit that nobody cast me for. Which I think is weird because I'm like, I can memorize lines, but whatever, I don't really care.
I like the dialogue. It was fun in my time. You like it?
I like it, but nobody wants me to do it.
You know what I suggest? Because, man, when I think about my time now, I reflect back and I say, fuck, I love the acting. And a lot of these directors are friendly, with you, you know what I mean? Because you work from a lot of times. Probably same story, right? Mm-hmm. It was more of my time because it was all features, back then, mostly. I should have said, give me more acting, please. Because I did go to acting school, right? And they always said I was the worst actor, but you know what I mean?
But in porn, you're probably fine.
No, they said I was the worst porn actor. But
oh, no. that's pretty bad. Yeah. That's embarrassing.
But I think they're wrong, you know what I mean? But I like it. So my suggestion is just call some people and say, hey, you know what? I really like to do some acting. You know why? Because sometimes, well, for me, if you can look back, because you get older, you know what I mean? You look back at some of the acting you're doing, you know what I mean? Me and Peter North played brothers so many times. You heard of Peter North? Mm-hmm. Right, we played brothers, I don't know, 100, 200 times. We probably did 300 or 400 movies together, you know what I mean?
Right.
On the same set or fucking the same girl, whatever. And so you look back at the dialogue and you just laugh your ass off, right? It's just something memorabilia for your older age, right? Anyway, so I wish I would have said to the people, hey, I like to do a little more acting, you know what I mean? Because they would have let me do it, you know what I mean?
No, I actually have. And I still, and I've reached out to directors that are doing like the feature stuff and everything. And it's almost like, and I'm not talking shit about them. I kind of get where they're coming from because they know like who's worked well for them. And it sort of sucks to take risks on people. But like, yeah, I feel like right now you almost get classified as one way or another, and I just never got classified as an actor, so I just don't get booked that way. So like the most acting I usually get to do is for like Brazzers, which I mean it's a fun, silly script, but then you have these like really big, serious features for like Wicked or, you know, Pure Taboo or whatever, and nobody wants me in them. But nobody's ever tried me in them. It's just like I'm not in their list.
You know what? I had the same problem.
Okay.
You want to know why?
Why?
I think it's because you must be such a great gonzo performer.
That's what it is, I think.
You know, that it supersedes anything else. Mm-hmm. And you get ignored.
I almost make a joke about this. Like, once you put 2 dicks in your ass, then people assume that you can't act.
They used to always say, oh, TTBoy is just an animal. He's just a gorilla. He's just this, no fucking brain. No, I was doing algebra in like 3rd, 4th grade. You know what I mean? So, okay, whatever you think, but you know, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm a monster, but I have a college degree. Like,
right, yeah, you know, right?
I can memorize lines. Come on.
Anyway, so Manuel is kind of your number one. Mm-hmm. But Prince Joshua, I've heard a lot of good things about Prince Joshua. I know him, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's just a wonderful person, like in general, to know, yeah.
I mean, he was started probably, I think, in the beginning of the 2000s, something like that. But anyways, he's a cool guy. So
Stefano is like high up on that list.
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
And he's so weird. Like the scenes that I've done with him, because it's been more recent because he was out of the country and now he's in the country, and like he's not rough, but he's like, he'll pull something different out that I wasn't expecting, and it's like a magician, and I'm just like, oh my God, we're gonna do that. I didn't even know that was a thing today, but here we are.
Like what? Like what?
Like the foot job stuff that we were talking about. Like we did a regular gonzo scene, and then I ended up like doing like a bunch of foot job stuff in the middle of it, but it was like, it just like flowed really well. And it's like the weirdest, like, it's like the weird, like, so there was like, he did like double anal on me with his dick and then a toy, and then like threw in foot job stuff and just like all kinds of like, it's like all of these like little, like, I don't know, like tricks. It was like, and he's fun because I'm like, I don't know what to expect out of this. Like, let's see what happens.
So he's really good.
Yeah, he's super fun.
He's kind of like old school a little bit, you know?
Yeah, and when he's really athletic, so he can do like, you know, like the positions he'll put himself in and stay hard is pretty amazing to me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I heard that. I heard he can open up really well, and you know, I mean, I remember my friend, you know, I was not that important. My friend Jake Steed, he said one day, yeah, there's a new guy, you know, because they were always, you know, new guys always coming for my job back in the days, right?
Right.
This is the 90s. I think he came back in 97, 98. He said, yeah, he's a nice guy. And I always remember him saying that he was a good guy, nice guy. And for me, Stefano is one of the nicest guys I ever met in my life. Ever. But, you know, but I hear good things about his performance too.
Yeah. Oh, and he's, I mean, I don't know him probably like you do, but he's always been really nice to me. But
so Stefano's up there. He's great. That the
there we go. Yeah, that's 4. I think that's good.
That's good. Yeah. So Manuel's makes you come the most. So God bless him.
Yeah. So God bless Manuel.
No, I mean, you know,
if he ever when he retires, I'll probably cry. I'll be like, no.
Really?
A little.
Well, he stayed strong a long time. It's amazing. You know, he didn't go off the beaten path. Sometimes you kind of veer off.
Yeah.
I mean, anyway, so I mean, he's been direct the whole time, so he's a pretty strong guy. So we were back. So that was your first scene. What was your second scene like?
My second scene was like for Devil's Film, and it was super vanilla. It was like big tits office chicks, and I'm like, so it was just like a boy-girl scene. It was just a normal scene. And for some reason, I was so much more nervous for that scene than the dog fart one. But now that you say that maybe it was the fact that there were more people on set, so there was less pressure, I'm like, oh, that makes all the sense. Maybe it's just taken 3.5 years for me to figure out what the difference was, because
everything's on you.
The second one, they're like, yeah, it was like me, and I'm like, oh shit. Like,
yeah, so you're sensitive. You're a very sensitive girl.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it was, yeah, so it was, the scene, again, it was a good scene. I don't think I've done, this is going to sound conceited, I don't think I've done a bad scene that was bad because of me.
I don't think it's conceited. You're a serious person. I don't think so. No, I mean, you know.
Like, I've always done my very best with like a scene, and like sometimes they're not great, but it's not me. So. Oh
yeah. No, I mean, people have to understand when you're on a set and you're working with people sexually, there's a lot of things that come, a lot of dynamics that come into the scene. First of all, do you like the guy you're working with? You know, it helps to have a vibe. And I don't care how good they look or whatever, there's good looking people that you don't vibe with chemically.
Absolutely.
Chemically, you're just like, oh, it doesn't work, right? You don't feel lust. And then if you don't feel the lust and they have the attitude that strikes you the wrong way, that's another strike.
Well, and that's what'll do it for me. Like when people always kind of talk about like dudes needing like help or fluffing or whatever on set, and I'm like, it's really difficult for me to work with a guy that's like, hey, I got this myself. I'm like, really? You don't want me to like, we're not gonna fucking do anything until the camera is rolling, because like I feel super undesired right now, and that'll fuck with me more than anything. Really? I'm like, yeah, I'm like I can't get wet for somebody that doesn't want me to suck his dick until the camera's rolling. That's weird.
Really?
That's weird. Isn't that? That's weird.
Well, I'm a performer, right? What happens is, well, I'm a natural performer. You know what I mean? So before your time, there was real performers, natural. I don't know how many are real today, but I bet it's a lot less than you really know. They take Viagra or have pumps in their dick, or they shoot.
Oh yeah.
So so basically, when you feel that anxiety, right? Imagine if you're a guy and it's all on you, and all that's flipped around in one camera, and there's no Viagra, no nothing. So you would see probably about a day in, day out, you see all the guys go down, and then you suck their dick forever. They won't get hard. But back to that point. The point is, when I was an actor, sometimes you need all of your energy and all your focus and all your sensitivity for the scene. And, you don't want to give that away. I wouldn't give it away. Not with the girl that I'm going to work with, because I want to give it all to her. I don't want to lose that lust with already having it.
Interesting.
You know what I mean? So don't totally think it's you. I don't know these guys, because there's a lot of Viagra and all this and that, but still might have something to do with it.
Okay. Because it does make for a weird dynamic when then or maybe it's just because you get spoiled by certain people. So I go on to set and I'm working with Manuel, And he'll like grab me and start making out with me instantly. And the next day I'm working with some other guy that's like, I'm just going to go stand in this corner and I'm not going to talk to you and I'm not going to look at you and I'm going to play like fucking Candy Crush or something until I'm called over. And I'm just like, oh yeah, this is fun. But even with those people, I do good scenes. I've had people like fans that'll be like, oh my God, you have such great chemistry with this guy. And I'm like, really?
Camera's weird, right? The camera's totally weird. You don't feel anything, right?
I'm like, good. I'm a really good actress. Amazing.
Camera. Oh yeah. Right. But you know, also too, sometimes there's something else I'm gonna share with you. There's also something called cock shock, right? And maybe some people know it, but if you fuck, you know, before the scene, right, and it feels good or too good, then when you go back to the scene, you know, when you go do the scene, you'll have less sensitivity on your dick because it'll have like already, sometimes, you know, a lot of times, if the pussy's really good, you know, and then you won't feel it as much, so then the camera's on you, and you need all the sensitivity you can get, you know, in general, you know. There's different days, different girls, different times, you know what I mean? But that's another thing that can happen to a guy. So maybe some guys know it, but there's a lot of cheating guys, so maybe their dicks are soft because they take Viagra and they got to take their Viagra before. I don't know, but I can tell you that.
I would say that there's like an age thing here too, because it's always like the really young dudes that tend to like just sort of like wander off and play on their phones.
Oh yeah, okay. So they're not even in the real world, really.
I'm like, nah. It's never men that are like my age or older. It's always like some young guy that I'm just like, how are you having fun with your game? That's great. Like,
I want to fuck all the girls. And I'd be honest, I'd fuck you. But I know that's going to fucking be kryptonite to me. So I'd be like afterwards, I'd be like, okay, let's have some more fun. You know what I mean? Anyway.
Yeah.
So all the pressure on you in the second scene. And then, you know, it takes time to get used to it.
Yeah.
Right?
It took like, you know, a few months.
Yeah. Same with me. We might be similar in some ways. Gonzo, you know, you get anxiety. I had a lot of anxiety. People can't tell, but I had a lot of anxiety. And it took me 6 months before I really got warmed up. And that was 100 scenes before I got warmed up.
Right. And then it's like, oh man, I guess I'm kind of good at this. That's crazy. But
it's kind of,
yeah.
So you were having fun. People were saying, you do a great job. We love you.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's weird how compliments will make you calmer, where people are like, you're great. And I'm like, I'm so great. I guess I can do this job. But it took several months of people telling me I'm great. So
your third scene is much easier, fourth scene, so on. Was there any scenes that you did before that were just, you know, because you don't, you know, you could share because people love to hear it. What was a scene or the worst scene because and why that you ever did?
I did a scene, it was before I was doing like, just like normal porn. I did a scene for a BDSM company, and it was an anal scene, but it also like was supposed to have like degradation stuff, like, you know, the guy peed in my mouth, whatever, and that was all fine. But I couldn't be marked for it because I had other work and I was dancing and stuff, and I told him that, and then he came in and put like a bag over my head and hit me with a studded paddle without asking, after he had said that he wasn't going to do any corporal because it was a degradation site, and so he was just going to like pee in my mouth and say terrible things to me. And so that was like my worst scene, because I was like, and that's the only time where I've been like, that was an actual like violation of our agreement here.
That sounds pretty serious. A studded paddle with it.
Yeah, with a bag over my head, so I couldn't see it coming, and then he hit me with it, and it was just like that was pretty fucked up.
That's real fucked up. He's a dick.
Yeah, and then I had a bruise, and then like
he knew it.
Yeah.
He's a punk, huh?
Yeah. But the nice thing is that he ended up with a bad enough reputation from him doing enough terrible things like that I don't think he really works anymore.
So he was just a director?
He was a director, and he was also the talent for this scene too. Like, yeah.
Fuck them. People come and go.
Yeah. Yeah. But it wasn't like traumatic or anything. It was just like the worst scene. Everything else that's been bad has just been bad, just like from a lack of vibing standpoint. Like nobody's been really a dick to me. Or maybe they have, and I just refuse to notice because I've been dancing for so long that I just like am unaffected.
Really?
Yeah.
What actor did you not get along with that you didn't like working with? That not regular porno. Was there any actor?
In regular, yes.
You don't want to tell him his name?
No, okay. But I feel like he's on a lot of people's like I don't really want to work with him list, but I don't want to because he still works.
You're too nice. You're a nice person.
Yeah.
It's okay. Yeah. You don't need to blast anybody. It's not a blasting show.
He's not like a bag of trash or anything. He's just not like the nicest person.
Okay. Yeah. Fuck him. I mean, it's not a big deal, right?
Yeah.
I don't like sites that bash people, so this or shows that bash people, but we like to know stuff always. So who's your favorite girl to work with? And you like girls, right?
I love girls. That's actually a harder question because I have like a much more broad range of girls that I like than guys. With guys it's easy to narrow down. With girls it's harder. Jocelyn James, who I mentioned with the giant ass, she's super fun. Jane Wilde. I
heard of that name, Jane Wilde, I think.
Yeah, she's like, she's a pretty big gonzo girl too. And, but the scene I did with her was like this really vanilla girl thing. And the whole time we were like, basically like, boy, I wish we could like fist each other's asses or something. And they're like, no, you can't do that. And we're like, okay, we won't. Wow. But because it was like, we're supposed to be like, it was like a sweet massage thing. And we're like, or we could do something grosser. And they're like, don't do any of the things that you want to do right now.
So you didn't do them?
No, because it wasn't that kind of scene. So now I feel like I have to make content with her so that I can we can do terrible things. There's some deep secrets with you.
I know, you know what I mean? I know there's something deep with you. We're going to find out. We're going to find out because that extremity, is from something. So,
probably.
We'll find out. So that's cool. So Jocelyn, you said.
Jocelyn.
So she's number one?
I don't know. I don't know if I have a number one with girls. There's like a lot of like Kaska Akashova is like, she's newer and I just like, how can I pick a girl? Yeah. I just want to marry like 10 girls right now when you ask me that.
Really? Do you like girls more than guys?
No. Well, okay. I think when it comes to like dating and relationship stuff or like becoming close, I definitely like girls more than guys. But with fucking, it's about equal. I'm just more picky.
Really? So the girls you can get along with easier?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just feel a little bit more like comfort with women.
There's a weird, there's that book, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus.
Right.
But I've heard in the gay world or whatever you want to call it, right, that they have said stuff like this. My cousin or uncle, he's gay, right? Or whatever. He says, no, man, it's like you have the same mentality as that person. Yeah. As that sex, right? I said, okay, whatever you say, right? Because I like girls, right? But, it seems I've talked to a lot of people, and since you have you're the same sex, you have more similarities. And maybe you can get along easier, maybe. But I like girls. I don't like guys. But
I think that like you're straight and I'm bisexual. I think that there's some of this that just comes down to physiology too. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So for you get along better with your sex.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. I date men and stuff, but generally when I'm kind of looking for more like long-term stuff, I'm more lean toward women, and men are more people that I date like casually for a little while until I'm bored.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah. So you have more common bonds with females.
Yeah.
That's a real psychological, evaluation type of idea. You know what I mean? Because people might not know these ideas, but they might be realer than we know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, and I think that like sometimes with like sexual orientation and stuff, you sort of fall on a spectrum somewhere. Because like I said, I actually really like having sex with dudes, but I mean, and I've been in love with guys and stuff, but I will say that I've never been in love with a guy to the point where I'm like, I will spend my life with this person. Like with girls, I've felt that way, but with guys, I've never been like, I'm going to marry him. With dudes, I'm like, I'm going to fuck you for like 6 months. It's going to be great. I really like your company. It's different.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
You know, and when I say the girls, I heard girls say this. I like girls more, you know, they're easy to talk to, easy to get along with.
Yeah.
I say,
sorry.
oh, that hurts.
Oh, no.
You know, because I like girls, and I don't want the girls not to like me or guys, you know what I mean?
But I think it's just like because I think like most girls that I know are more into guys. Like even girls that are like, I'm bisexual. I'm like, yeah, but they're dating dudes, and then they fuck around with girls. So I'm almost just the opposite of most bisexual women. So I think like your dating pool is still bigger.
Well, I think that it's changing though, because especially with the media being put out today, there's a lot of media that is pushing, I don't know what you want to call it, same-sex love, you know what I mean?
Or just making it like more acceptable, maybe.
I would say push it, you know what I mean?
Okay.
You know, I mean, I think it's like they're pushing it, you know what I mean? But I've never, because I love media, I watch it. This is like pushing it hardcore, but anyways. So, yeah, so what do you, when you're having sex with a girl, what do you like more about a girl than a guy? You know, they don't have a dick, obviously, you know what I mean? But, like, what does a girl do for you sexually?
Oh, let's see. I think that for, like, girls let me... I'm much more... What's the word? I'm more assertive when I have sex with women. And I think that like a tendency for women to just sort of be a little bit more like, okay, how am I going to say this? Women that I date tend to be a little bit more like on the like submissive side where that, you know, and I like that feeling of being able to kind of control a sexual situation that I don't get with most men. Like most men are sort of like, they like to drive, and I like to drive too. So, yeah.
Do you find this as you get older, or has this been since you were younger?
Even when I was younger, I like with women especially, like I always have been sort of like
dominant, kind
of dominant with women. Yeah.
Okay. So you like the domineering power factor, kind of.
Yeah. And with men, I'm the opposite. Like when I'm with men, I tend to like be much more of a bottom, but I think that like I connect more when I'm dominating the sex.
Well, I mean, you know, that is a big deal with relationships. I don't think everybody understands it. But there's always a power fight.
Right, there is.
It's always like, I got the power. No, you're down. I got the power. I got money. Now I got the power.
Right. Well, and with dudes, like the kind of men I'm attracted to are the kind of men that also like to be like in control. And that's, I think, why it just doesn't last forever. But I have a lot of fun when I'm with them. Like, it just like doesn't last forever. There's a point where I'm just like, so we're done now, right?
Really? Oh, wow.
like usually like after like the first like big argument, because I hate arguing with a partner. I don't tolerate it well. But like after the first big argument when there's a power struggle, I'm like, so we like each other, but we're not, this isn't great. I know.
No, I hate arguing.
Me too.
No, it's just, most time I run from it, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, just like that. Hey, you're cool, see, I'll call you soon. Right. All right.
Like maybe we should just be friends, like, or, you know, not, but I don't want to have this conversation anymore, so.
All right. So about the girls, you know, for me, I love the women, right? So I love the way they look. their bodies, right? I mean,
and the way they feel. Girls are soft and pretty.
The big asses, you like the, I love the shape, you know what I mean? But also sometimes some girls have sweeter pussies than other girls. Can you share that experience with me? Yep. Share it with the people. I don't want to give mine. This is about you.
Some pussies are sweeter. Some pussies like are more. I don't know. Like there's like I hate the words that are coming to my head right now. I think it's just like a body chemistry thing. But like some women have like a more. It's like too strong, like, because I like the taste of pussy, but there's a point where I'm like, this is a lot. Like, what am I trying to say? Help me out.
Oh, no, okay. I mean, when I was a little kid, I'm just worshiping pussies when I'm like 7 years old. So I'm all about pussies. So I'm a pussyologist.
I'm just trying to be polite.
So I'll say this to you. First of all, not all pussies are created equal, just like a guy's dick, right? So all pussies are not created equal. Some are fat and pretty, some are flat and ragged looking, with shit hanging.
And I don't even care about that, but yeah.
I'm just leading.
Yeah.
So you lead on, the chemistries are not the same. So some pussies have such a really sweet taste to them. Not only do they have a sweet taste to them, but the texture of their wetness can be almost like the bubbles, soapy texture that you might find in a bubble bottle when it just all sticks to your fingers and sticky and it's incredible. Why some will have dryness, right? Some will be wet, but it is not the same crazy wetness that is usually found in a kinky girl, right? Because she's totally stimulating.
You just get into it. Like, I think if you get into it, yeah.
No, she's a kinky girl inside because that's what happens sometimes with the brain, right?
Right.
It's from inside. But I think it goes to the outside too, and so they become, so that's what I'm saying. Do you understand? You understand that? How many girls have you been with?
A lot more girls than men. Hang on.
No, but it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
So, 100, 500?
Oh, probably, well, way more than 100. I mean, probably maybe it would be like leaning closer to that 500 range. Like I've I started dating girls when I was in high school. I didn't actually start fucking with dudes until I was 23.
Bring it to me, yeah. Whoa, really?
Yeah.
All right. See, we're gonna go soon to that neighborhood. Right? Oh, we're almost there, but keep talking to me.
And I was very popular, so.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Right. I get along with women.
What size are your breasts?
34 triple D.
Are they natural?
No.
What were they?
They were always like a C cup.
C, almost D.
Yeah.
So they're beautiful. Mm-hmm. Can you go like this for the people? Don't show me the nipples, but if you can pull that down.
Let me get like this out of the way because I can see that other camera over there, and I don't want to cover up my cleavage.
Yeah, if you can get that cleavage, there you go. You're the best. Thanks. So they're triple E's, you said?
Triple D.
Triple D. Mm-hmm. Triple D's. So like 38, you said, or 40?
34.
34. Oh, yeah. You're small. That's all based on the,
That's just, that's just like your rib cage or whatever.
So triple D, those are beautiful, right? Mm-hmm.
I like them.
Did you guys see them? If you really want to see them, you go to her OnlyFans.
You have to get it on the internet.
Yeah. But because I noticed that a lot of times in high school, if girls had big boobs and they're pretty, they become more popular instantly, with everybody. Because girls appreciate a girl's body.
Girls like pretty girls too, especially if those pretty girls are also nice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. And you're cool. Right. Mm-hmm. So, all right. So the pussies taste nice and.
Yeah. And they come like so many times, which I've always found really fun. Because with dudes, you get like out of a guy, like you get like an orgasm, or maybe you get two, but it's not the same. Like with women, you can like women just like come and then we come and then we come. And sometimes you don't even come down from your last orgasm before you're on to your next one. And it's so fun to do that to people. Like, yeah, I mean, it's really entertaining.
I love that too. When you can keep somebody high. You know what I mean?
Yeah. When you can really keep somebody up there,
It's a beautiful, and it's also, it's a thoughtful thing. Thoughtful idea, because it's not just for you, you're trying to make somebody happy.
Yeah, well, generally, like, I'm not in a situation where I can come when I'm making another girl come, because it's not even like heterosexual sex where like the dude at least like is getting like a lot of, but like girls aren't very good when we're having orgasms. We become bad at other things. So like if I'm making a girl come over and over and over again, I'm not really expecting her to eat my pussy or anything like that at that point, because like I want her to like be able to focus on what's happening. But that's what I like about girls too, is that just like where our bodies do magical things.
Yeah, so
like multiple orgasms, I think that's magic.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I've seen some girls really can do something. Some girls can. They're one-hitter quitters, you know what I mean? But some girls can go. So when this is, for me, I'm not into girl, you know what I mean? I love girls, you know what I mean? So I'm pro me liking girls, you know what I mean? Right. But, I had a girl company, whatever, I've been around forever. When you kissing gets you more excited with a girl, licking her pussy or the ass smothering or all of it?
Oh my, it's like, It kind of depends on like, I'm not into ass smothering if a girl has a small ass, but I can get into a girl with a small ass if she's got like really good energy, like anyway.
And she's pretty, of course. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, and she's pretty. I'm a visual. I'm not blind. I'm a person. But if she's pretty and she has really good energy and like there's just like something that isn't normally my thing, like I can get over it.
Kissing gets you excited.
And what do we like to do? I love kissing. Yeah, kissing is my favorite thing to do with like both men and women as far as like how to get excited.
So you're a kisser?
I love to make out.
One time I made out with a girl for 6 hours in the car in front of her house. You know what I mean? But I love kissing, right? That's why. I love kissing. So I appreciate it. Because is kissing, the idea of kissing leaving, or am I just too far gone?
Yes. Well, nobody kisses just a kiss anymore.
That's
People
what I mean.
Kiss because they're trying to do something else. And like, it's great to want to do other things, but sometimes I just want to make out because I like kissing someone.
So you like sticking your tongue and rubbing the tongue hard or soft? Because some people say they like kissing. They told me how they like kissing. I'd be like, that's not really kissing. You know what I mean? So tell me how you kiss.
I like to change things up. I'm pretty aggressive, though. Like, yeah, I'm a pretty aggressive kisser.
So I like strong tongue,
like,
strong
yeah.
lips.
There needs to be like,
right?
There needs to be a little bit of like, almost like a little bit of a battle, like with the tongue.
All right, I like it. Yeah, that gives heat, and then you're fucking to it. Really does something, right?
Yeah.
Same way with a girl. When you kiss a girl, they don't do that too much, right?
Girls tend to. Almost like with girls and sex, girls tend to be like a little bit more like submissive and like soft when they kiss.
So when you look at a girl, when I look at a girl, I see her ass, her face, her legs, sometimes the tits, but I'm the legs, sometimes the lines and the ass, because you like ass too, right? Can you just look at a girl? What is the best thing, or what attracts you the most just by looking at her? What gets you crazy? Or is that not such a thing?
It's not as well. Okay, like if it's just like if I don't get to have a conversation with her, probably the first thing I'll notice is her ass. Yeah,
she's walking away.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
They'll stand in the grocery store behind someone and be like, "I really want to talk to this girl."
Really? Let me grab her ass. Grabbing a girl's ass is a beautiful thing. Anyway, I think.
No.
So the best scene you said you did was with Jocelyn James, or was it with somebody else? Somebody can look at that movie, and say.
Okay. the scene I did with Jocelyn was really good. My best, maybe, girl scene, I think, was the one with Jane Wilde, though.
What movie is that? Let people check it out.
It's New Sensations, and it is Women Loving Girls for New Sensations. It just came out like 6 months ago.
Wow, New Sensation. I know the guy.
And another one was for True Anal, and it was with I mean, there was a guy involved, but like me and Jasmine J. Like, I think that scene was also one of my best scenes involving another girl.
Okay. Check it out. Did you watch porno before you got in porno?
A little.
Just a little?
Just a skosh, yeah.
Was there any girls that come to your mind that you thought looked hot, that were popular?
Not really. Like, I was always more into like kind of like the story or whatever was going on. Yeah. Yeah.
Wicked was probably your time. You were seeing Wicked or Vivid.
Yeah. Well, I was watching Kink when I was younger. Yeah.
Oh, really?
So the Kink.com stuff. Mm-hmm.
She's a kinky girl. We know. All right. So like Jenna Jameson, you ever heard of her? Mm-hmm. You never?
I've heard of Jenna Jameson, but like I've never like been like a big
fan.
Yeah.
Or Tara Patrick, or you know. Okay. All right.
No.
Those were my time, right? That's a long time ago. So your time is with some other girls, but you liked the story, so you really weren't looking. I
wasn't really looking at I didn't know the guys or girls like that well. Yeah.
You just said I want to do porno, and you did it.
Yeah, basically.
Who's your favorite company to work with?
Oh God, Evil Angel.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't work with them enough, but every time I do, it's like always one of my favorite things.
Well, they have so many directors there, right? So, which director is your favorite director?
Chris Dreams.
Chris Dreams?
Yep.
Why?
I don't know. I feel like, well, for one thing, like he is filthy, and he'll like basically let me do whatever I want, which I enjoy very much. And he'll always book me with some other talent that is also like as filthy in the brain as I am, and that's what I want to have happen. So like that's helpful. And yeah, well, and also like I don't know. I just think that his work it always looks amazing every time I like see myself in anything that he shot. I'm like, that's how I want to look in porn.
Okay. I've heard of him. Yeah. I mean, you know, I know Evil Angel, the owner. You know John? Have you talked to John a few times?
Yeah. I did. He shot a scene that I was in for. It was Consent. Was the movie. It was like. So we got into like the BDSM stuff a little bit for that scene. Yeah.
I mean, his company, you know, Evil Angel, is really, you know, his brain power. What he's done with Evil Angel, you know, I give him so much respect. He's a really kiki guy, anyways.
Yeah, he is, and yeah.
I mean, so he's the perfect job for him. He's a perfect, but you know what he's done with Evil Angel is incredible. I watched it. I worked for him in the '80s, right? I worked for him, you know, and you know for Joey and everybody, you know. But what he's done is amazing. So Evil Angel is a great company. So that's a great company to put out there like that.
Yeah,
in my opinion. So, is there any favorite movie? You just said that one scene. That's pretty much it.
Which one?
With the girl.
Oh, as far as what's favorite scene? Oh, well, that was like a favorite girl scene. Like, are you talking about those favorite scenes in general?
Your favorite movie that you can direct somebody towards?
Oh God, just one?
Yeah.
Just one?
You can do two. You can say two. Okay.
Probably like my Consent scene for Evil Angel. So the movie's called Consent, and it the scene is with Dana Vespuli and Marcus Dupree.
She's great, right?
Yeah, she's great. And like in that movie, we did like a DP scene, but she was wearing a strap on. And so she and Marcus like did double anal on me with a strap on. It was really cute. But then it like switched, and there was like this point where like he was like fucking her ass and she was laying on top of him. And then I was on top of her and she had the strap-on dick on. And so I'm riding the strap-on dick. So we're like in a little stack of humans, right? And then I'm like leaning over and spitting in her mouth and slapping her across the face. But like at the beginning of the scene, she was like dominating me. And at the end it had like sort of switched. And it's like, it was a really cool scene. It's one of my favorites. Yeah.
Cool. I mean, she's a serious girl too.
She's a monster. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I guess she was a fan of me and Peter North when she got in the business, but this is way back, you know what I mean? So she wanted to meet up. So anyways, but she's great. She's strong. Yeah. She loves it. And she used to be with Manuel.
Yeah.
So yeah. What's the biggest dick you ever had?
Dread.
Dread? Mm-hmm. Can you show me?
I don't know. He's huge. He's like
show it to the camera. I mean,
he's like a giant. He's like a giant.
Go like this.
I don't know. It's like I feel like we should look this up.
Yeah.
It's quite large.
Was it good?
Yeah, I think he's the biggest dick that's working right now. Yeah.
I had him on the show. He's a really nice guy.
Yeah.
Super nice guy. Yeah.
Yeah, he's so chill. Yeah. Yeah, we used to hang out quite a bit, just like as friends and stuff. Mm-hmm.
Because you were fucking, you know what I mean?
We were fucking, but like it wasn't because
of the big dick. It
wasn't because of the big dick. He's really cool. Yeah. Yeah, he's super fun.
What's the smallest dick you ever fucked or seen? Because you probably seen one in your personal life too.
Yeah. Yeah, it was definitely one in my personal life.
So how big?
It was like really little.
Really?
Yeah, and it was on a really fat guy. Really? So it was like super weird. Like, cause it's like, cause at first I'm like, is this an optical illusion? Like maybe you have a normal sized dick, but you're just such a large person. And I'm like, no, I think that like your dick is really small and you're super large. Yeah.
You were going out with the guy or?
No, not really.
Oh.
Yeah.
Something else. Okay. I got it. Sometimes people want to know these answers to these questions. They write in sometimes. Do you ever fall in love on a set?
I fall in love on a lot of sets.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
With Manuel, but anybody else?
Basically any, like, yeah, sure. With Manuel, with Derek, with Prince, like there's like the times where like, and I realize that it's not like love, but there are times where if a scene is really intense and I've come enough times, any person, it doesn't even matter if it's the person I'm fucking, any person on that set could probably be like, I love you, will you marry me? And I'd be like, yeah, like sure. Cause I'm just like so overwhelmed with endorphins. Yeah. For
only 6 months maximum, right?
Right. For 6 months we'll get married and we'll have to reassess that situation.
But you're totally right. I totally understand. Mm-hmm. You get so into it and it feels so good. How can you not be in love, kind of, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's like and then you get in your car and you go home and have dinner and go back to normal life. But for at least a little while, like, yeah.
How many guys have you brought home that you fell in love with on the set?
Not a lot. 2. 2? Yeah. Generally, I like to leave people on set.
You do what?
It was like easy at the beginning. Like earlier in my career, like in that first like year, it was more common that I at least exchange phone numbers with people and then hook up with them later. But in the last couple years, like I sort of don't.
Yes.
Because there's drama. I feel like there's like, it's like people have feelings that I don't have sometimes. I've dealt with that.
Or vice versa sometimes, or no?
Not really. That's not.
Whoa. Really?
Well, okay, there's been one that like I think I had feelings that he didn't, but I also didn't really like. It's not like I didn't go like crazy on him for it. It's like, I have these feelings. And he's like, thank you. And I'm like, okay, well, that's pretty obvious. So I'm just going to.
So you're like, if you're not giving me, I'm not giving you.
Yeah. Well, you can't what are you going to do at that point? Mm-hmm. Like if you express that you have like romantic interest in someone and they're like, that's really nice, I appreciate that, that's when you move on with your life, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you're more mature, but when you're younger,
oh yeah,
sometimes it's hard because you're not really programmed there yet. I don't think you don't have that barrier up yet.
Yeah, that's probably true.
I mean, did you fall in love and get hurt when you were younger?
Totally. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but it was never. But it was never like a big dramatic, like I never have been the type of person that blames the person that doesn't love me back. Like, cause I've always thought that was weird when somebody is like the unrequited thing. And then somebody's like, I love you. And then they don't say it back. Then it's like, it's not their fault that they don't love you. Right. But every once in a while, even in porn, there's been a couple guys that have been like, will you be my girlfriend now? And I'm like, I think we're better just fucking. And then they go a little crazy. So now I'm kind of like not taking.
I mean, this is after going out with them or not?
Yeah, this is after going out with them for a while. But then I kind of,
okay.
But I feel like it's okay to hang out with somebody and fuck them for a while and still not end up in a committed thing, right?
Yeah, come on, yeah.
I'm in porn.
Yeah, right. You get real, right?
I'm fucking you, but tomorrow I'm going to be fucking somebody else. And then I'm going to, but I've had those moments where somebody's like, I think it should be just me that you do anal scenes with. I had a guy say that to me and I was like, that's hilarious.
Really? That is funny, yeah.
That is so funny.
Wow.
What?
Why? I mean, what? That's because he loves your ass only?
No, I think he just wanted something special that was us. And but we weren't even in a relationship at that point. Like we were just fucking around, but then he still brought it up and I was just like, I feel like this is over, right? So we're done here.
Oh, serious. Yeah. You guys better be careful. Janet James had a heartbreaker on her ass, a tattoo. Right? Okay. She was the master of breaking hearts.
Oh, yeah.
Ginger Lynn says she ran away 6 times from the altar. So that's a heartbreak.
Wow.
I mean, on the altar.
See, you can't get me to agree to the altar. That's the difference. Like,
at least you're nice enough to cut it off.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, I'll stop this before it goes there.
So you're a heartbreaker too, huh?
Only a little sometimes.
You get off on it or no?
Not at all. Okay. No, I don't like to hurt anyone's feelings because I know what it's like to feel rejected. Like I said, that's happened to me and it sucks. So I prefer people not to feel that way, but sometimes you can't help it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. A lot of different things go into love. It's a weird thing.
Yeah, it's weird. Feelings. Yeah.
The time, the place, the person, your mentality, the then. How old? I mean, it's a lot of shit.
Yeah, there's been people that I've been in little flings with that I didn't want to be serious with. And then later I look back at it and I'm like, if I knew that person now, I'd probably want to be in a relationship with them. But at that point, that's just not where, it's not where it was.
Yeah. Sometimes you think there's a magical thing called love.
Yeah.
But you know what? When you get really technical about it, I don't think so.
No, it's physiology mixed with your mental state.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah. But you don't want to believe that. I still don't want to believe that, but.
No, yeah. You want to believe that it's some sort of magic situation. But if it was, then everyone would be married to the first person they ever loved. And we're not.
Yeah. That's the way it is. So let's get really nasty here.
Okay. No more love.
Let's do a contrast change.
Okay.
So you are an anal queen, you might say, right?
I don't know if I'm a queen. No? I feel like I can't talk myself up that much, but I think other people would say that, yes.
So when was the first time you tried anal sex?
Pretty late. I was in my 20s when I tried anal.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
And just because that's what you do normally when you're in a relationship, right? Try anal sex.
Yeah, it was when I was with a guy and he was like, I want to do but I was never opposed to it or anything. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, you're more free, so whatever.
Yeah, like this could be interesting. Yeah.
And so you just blew your mind. You liked it, loved it more. You came more, or
Yeah. Well, the angle is slightly better for me.
Well, your pussy is...
Yeah, it's just like the way that like the dick, and it hits my G-spot slightly better if you go in through my ass than if you go in through my pussy.
You know, a lot of times, a lot of people don't know this, and I help people out, you know. I always help people out. You could take it and understand it or not, you know. That's yours. It's up to you. But the girl's dynamics of her canal, her pussy, the way angle it's at sometimes is not really the same with every girl.
Exactly.
So just like a guy's, my dick goes up, you know what I mean? Some guys' dicks go down. So maybe the guy's dick that goes up is got to be with a certain cervix of the girl.
Yeah.
Right? Because they are shaped different. So you're saying yours goes a little bit different angle than
so like any dude that has like a straight dick, actually that's interesting that you bring that up, because a dude that has a dick that curves up, it's better in the pussy, and like 100%. Dude with a really straight dick, better in the ass, because it'll like kind of like it's hard to explain, but
so the curved dick, your G-spot you just kind of go up.
Yep.
Yeah. It's a trip, but this is the facts. You know what I mean?
I know. I thought you were going to get really nasty here, and now we're talking about science. Like.
Well, let's get nasty, right? Right. We're talking I get too scientific, right?
I think it's important.
But you know, help people out. So you did the anal sex in 20-something, and you said I like this, and then you start having every guy fuck you in the ass. Or
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because you say you're going out, you're sewing your pussy shut, you're only fucking me in the ass, right?
Well, look, that's like a fun, kinky thing. Like, I would never, like, say that any guy I ever dated could only fuck me in the ass. But you can't date me if you're not going to fuck me in the ass. That's what I'm saying.
Wow, that's pretty serious.
It's not going to happen.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So, do a lot of guys like anal sex?
I think that, well, some guys I think like it, like, for the, like mentally, because like they associate it with being kind of dirty, but I think the pussy for men is more stimulating.
For me, yeah.
Yeah, I think it would like ass sex is for me when it happens in a relationship, and I recognize that. So I'm not like, we can't only fuck me in the ass, but like it's got to happen sometimes.
Would you like a big giant dick in your ass or just an average sized dick?
It doesn't really matter.
It's just something in your ass.
Yeah.
So do you like a butt plug when you're getting fucked, or a vibrator?
I definitely do. And sometimes like, if it's just like that, I'll just like stick my fingers in there, especially if it's in doggy, and I'll like put my hand behind me, and then I just like shove the guy's dick down so that it is hitting my G-spot at that angle. So like he's in my pussy, I stick my hand through my rectum, and then I push his dick where I need it while he's fucking me. And it works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even in anal positions, your ass can go different ways with a different dick.
Yeah.
So, which is your favorite anal position?
I like missionary for anal.
Yeah. What about for pussy?
Same.
You like to kiss and be there in the moment?
Yeah. I like it's like missionary, and then second is cowgirl for the same reason. Yeah.
To grind that clit?
Just get in there. But for like porn, it's like cowgirl's less fun for porn. But for my personal life, they're almost equal.
I'm going to tell another secret to the people out there. Okay?
About porn?
No, about girls. I don't mind sharing a little bit. If you want to make a girl come, usually the best position to make a girl come is cowgirl.
Yeah, it is.
That's for the guys.
You have to put a little effort into it, though. It's not just her. Like, I feel, because like dudes will like lay on their back and then they don't do anything.
Oh yeah, no.
But like, but like when a guy like grabs you by the hips and like grinds you hard, oh my god, you're just like, I'll just like squirt all over somebody. Like, we'll wet the bed.
That's a beautiful thing. It feels good on your dick too when it's all hot coming out.
Yeah. I feel like everyone seems happy in that moment. So like I've never had a dude be like, oh, that's upsetting. Like, nah, everyone's happy.
Get the fuck out of here.
Well, if he did, there's something wrong with him. I'd be like.
So, do you like sucking dick?
Well, it kind of goes back to where I was talking about earlier, where I really like pleasing my partner. So
can you deep throat? Are you deep throated?
Yes.
So tell me how you suck a dick. Show me, if you don't mind.
Well, it kind of depends. Like the last, like in a scene, I really basically I'll throat fuck myself. So like, even if the guy is laying down, like and if it's like a rougher scene or whatever, I like to put the dick all the way like as to the back of my throat, so that, cause you can kind of feel that, like, you can kind of feel like that muscle where where like the throat and the like inside of the mouth meet, and then I'll like to kind of like just like actually keep it back there and like fuck my face, so that I'm kind of like deep throating myself.
You deep throat Dread?
No, I can't. Like, no, he's too thick.
So what's the biggest dick you deep throated? How about Prince Joshua?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I can get him all the way down. I can throw back Manuel and Prince and such. Just, I think Dread is like one of the few that I really just like, because I don't want to scrape anyone with my teeth. So there's a point where I'm like, we're done trying, because I don't want to.
Oh, that's nice.
Hurt anyone.
I've had that happen. My dick's not, like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'd be like, oh God.
Yeah. It's like, yeah. And I can feel when I like have touched someone with my, like, well, and that's the thing, like we can feel that. So it's like, when you can feel that starting to happen, maybe just give up. It's okay.
So what would be your favorite thing in sex with a guy? Is it anal sex?
It's anal.
Anal sex? That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I like anal sex, and I like but I like anal, but I also like multiple like things being penetrated. So even when I'm just like alone with a dude, like I like anal, but I like to like add like body parts or dildos or something to like other holes. And I like a lot of stuff happening at once more than anything. Like the dude I've been fucking lately.
Yeah?
Like, yeah, he's super fun, because like he'll like do, like, we didn't even have conversations. You should always have conversations with your partner, but we didn't. But it was like, he would start like fucking me in the ass or something, and then he'll like start like shoving many fingers as he can in my pussy at the same time, and then like fucking choking. Like, so many things are happening sometimes, and I like overstimulation a little bit.
You're an extremist.
Yeah, a little.
Totally. So he's a civilian?
No, he's not a performer either.
But that's a civilian.
Yeah, but he's still industry, so.
Oh.
He's just not a performer.
Director or somebody?
Or somebody.
So I mean, what is it like? I mean, so you're in the business, right? A lot of people ask this question too. You're in the business, and then you go out dating outside of the business. Do you do that?
Yes.
What is that like? Because
it's interesting.
Yeah, the people are different sometimes, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or everyone thinks that they're okay with stuff until they're actually faced with shit that like they're suddenly not okay with, and then all of a sudden they realize that they're actually not okay with my job. And so like I've dated people that are like, I'm totally okay with you being in porn, and I'm super proud, and blah 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 blah. And then all of a sudden they're like, I saw on your Twitter that some guy was pissing on you. How often does that happen? I can't deal with that. That's degrading. You shouldn't do that. And I'm like, so this is over, right?
Really?
Kind of.
The hatchet woman.
It's kind of my answer.
Not even a hatchet, that's an axe. You're an axe murderer, right?
A little.
And that's it?
Yeah, that's kind of it. Because I'm not going to change. Like, I'm not changing what I'm going to do for my job because somebody's uncomfortable with it.
You give them a fair warning and say that you're going to get axed, or you just axe them?
Well, when somebody starts doing that, I already know that it's an issue now. And I can't address everything because I don't know what's going to bother each person. So, like, if I say, just so you know, I'm kind of an extreme performer and I do this set of things, but I forget to mention piss, and that's the thing that makes you crazy, then now we've, like, reached an impasse. because I'm not going to say that I'm never going to get pissed on again. I love getting pissed on. So like,
yeah. By everybody or
by people I like.
Girls and guys, I mean.
What?
Girls and boys?
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah.
What does it feel like?
Warm.
Piss in your mouth or just on your body? Where, what?
If somebody's well hydrated, definitely piss in my mouth. And I also love piss like in my ass, like if I'm gaping and somebody can get like, I think it's so, if that feels cool as hell. Yeah. It's like, cause it hits like the edge there. It's almost ticklish. It makes me giggle.
Wow. I talked to a famous porn star one time, and she loves her mate, has trained him, or he can do it, piss in her pussy while he's hard and fucking her.
Wow. See, that's a talented mate. She's very lucky.
Because you like to try it, right?
Yeah, that's hot.
I gotta try it one time, figure it out. Yeah. I drink 100 ounces a day of water, so I'm always hydrated.
Yeah, usually with my experience with that, guys have to kind of like, they have to start fucking and then they have to like just stop and sort of like relax while they're in you, and then they can piss inside of you. But that's less fun than like what you're describing. What you're describing is special.
Yeah, I gotta figure it out. My dick gets so hard, but it's hard to piss when my dick's hard.
Yeah, no, it's for everyone, I think, except for apparently.
When I wake up in the morning, my dick's hard and I can't even piss. I gotta try and, you know.
I think it's like, I always, like, it has to like kind of.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. You know,
redo the plumbing a little or something. I don't know.
Something like that, yeah. So you're right. That's a talented guy. I don't know how to do it.
Yeah, because I've had dudes like piss in me, but usually they have to get soft again to do it. Like, so they just stop fucking in the middle of fucking, and then like,
try it out.
Yeah, give it a go. Yeah,
we got something new for the guys out there. Learn how to piss in your woman.
Yeah, it feels cool. Well, because it's like you're being filled with like warm liquid.
It's like when the girls squirt on you. You feel all of a sudden you feel the hotness. Then it goes on your pelvis and drips down.
Yeah, it's great.
So pretty much dating guys outside the business is usually challenging because they figure out that you are a very kinky girl. But when they're getting the kink from you, how's that?
They also have a difficult time with that. Like most people are pretty vanilla.
So when you give kink, they say no?
Yeah.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, every once in a while somebody's like, I really want to try this, and then you like do something and they're like, no, don't ever do that again. Well, the biggest thing that I've noticed is like dudes are like, because personally, and I don't think everyone has to like this, but personally, I really love buttholes. And I
Oh, really?
Yes.
I mean, well, because I swear to you, I see the movies from Stagliano, from Evil Angel. When I watch his movies, the people, we love, and I can never see any value in them, right? Because they would do so many close-ups on the butthole, right? And I'd be like, right? Right? That's me. It's like a scrunched up looking like, So I never get it, but there's gotta be so many people out there that are like you. So describe why you like a butthole.
I think it's because I like my butthole being stimulated so much, and I just like to mess with people's buttholes. And every once in a while guys are like, I'm totally okay with this. And then you start like, and I'm not trying to peg people here. I'm like, I'm going to lick your asshole. And then everyone loses their shit like right there.
Pegging is a terminology for
pegging is like when you do a strap-on fucking a dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the guys lose their...
The guys can't, guys, like I'll date guys that are like fine with like, I like giving rim jobs and stuff because I think they feel nice, and I just like want everyone to feel nice.
Whoa, that's like, she's scared to say it. That's what they said in my acting class when your voice goes up.
I'm explaining myself. I'm like, they feel nice. Don't touch me.
So you like to get your ass licked?
I like to get my ass licked, and I like to lick everyone else's ass. I just like could do like a whole like ass licking party, honestly.
So if you had a bunch of buttholes, I mean, this is serious stuff. No, I mean, really, think about it. This is You had a bunch of asses up in there, big asses, guys' asses, girls' asses. It doesn't matter. You're focusing on the butthole and you want to go lick them, you might say?
Yeah, as long as it's people I like in general, like, yeah.
So, I mean, if you had 10 asses that you like.
10 asses that I like, I'm going to stick my tongue in every single one of those butts. Yes.
Oh, you're a kinky girl. Wow. So you like the way they look, you say?
I don't know if I like well, kind of. I like the way they look, and I just like messing with them. Like, I like the way they feel, and like they feel really, they feel.
That's nice. Freedom. I mean, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Please.
Yeah. I like the way they like, well, and obviously like, it's not like, I don't like, it's like, I like people to be prepared. I want everyone to be very clean, but you know, yeah. But I think it's because I'm so sensitive, like my ass is sensitive. So I kind of like have like, I think it's more just like, projecting where I'm like, I like things done to my ass. Do you like things done to your ass? And some people don't.
There's supposed to be a lot of nerves in the ass, right? Mm-hmm. And they say, I've never done that, but they say that if you put drugs in the girl's ass, right, it gets her going crazy.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, what drug do you put in your ass? Not mushrooms, that doesn't work.
No, you don't put mushrooms in your ass.
Cocaine?
You can put cocaine in your ass. You can put Molly up there.
Oh, so you're a fan of Molly too? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Cocaine in your ass is that's pretty fun. Like, yeah, because it like, yeah, that's pretty fun. It absorbs like so fast, but then I won't have sex like that because then my ass is numb and I don't trust like a numb ass.
You wake up, yeah. Yeah,
I want like to be able to feel everything just in case like something goes wrong with anal, but like, but yeah, like cocaine but Molly is like one of my favorite things to put in my butt.
Wow. I mean, you're a serious girl. I'm saying. Serious girl.
But it works for dudes too. Like obviously it's exactly the same. Like a dude can put Molly in his butt and have just as much fun.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's the same.
Yeah, it's just the drug absorbs through the mucous membrane. And because it's in the ass, it bypasses like the digestive system. Mm-hmm. So it's a little bit like when it finally hits, it's a little bit stronger, especially with Molly, because, you know, the drug potency sort of decreases when your body is digesting, like your stomach acid destroys some of it. But if it goes through your butt, you don't have that issue. It just absorbs straight into the bloodstream.
So that's, yeah. So, I mean, you know, so shooting up through your veins is number one. I guess we're getting everything there the fastest. But are you saying that anus is number two? Yeah,
I would say anus is number two. I would never shoot up through my veins. That freaks me out. But I will stick all kinds of stuff through my butt.
I would never. I don't even like needles. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm like, I can't even imagine putting. I can do needles, but I can't. Like, that's too hardcore for me. But
we know that's the scientific fact. Mm-hmm. Shoot up through your blood and that's the number one. Smoking is number.
Well, smoking, you kind of carbonize some things, so you're also destroying some of it. So like snorting is more effective than like swallowing, and but like I don't know, like I think like with crack and cocaine, like because they're actually like I think chemically similar, but it's just like the way that they're, you know, structural. I think that people say, I've never done crack, but I think people say crack is like more powerful than like snorting coke. I don't know.
The crack got the name, I think, because they started putting stuff in the cocaine when they cooked it.
Okay.
So I don't really know for sure that cooking, like cooked cocaine, pure cocaine with baking soda, whatever, I think that's just cocaine.
Right.
I think that crack got the idea when they put shit inside of it, like some type of filler. Yeah, but
still, like you'll get by like cocaine, and they will have cut it with a bunch of other crap, and people like snort it or whatever. But
yeah, so when you cook it, it's supposed to get cleaner.
So it's supposed to become more pure.
So it's more strong. It's supposed to be more strong.
That makes sense.
So somebody say, "Oh, you're a crackhead," but you don't know for sure. But if you smoke cocaine, it's a little stronger than snorting it probably. Right. But it all depends on the cocaine. You know what I mean? Yeah. Or the drug, right? So.
Yeah, I've never been like a crack person. It's just never come up in my life. Yeah. It's just one of those things. It's never happened. And I've never like gone and sought it out. So
right. It's kind of like,
it's like a weird, we're talking about drugs so much today.
Yeah. Well, drugs and sex are,
Yeah. Don't do drugs.
Yeah. Don't do drugs, but it's your life and, do what you want. Just don't hurt anybody. That's all I say, you know what I mean? Yeah. And so Steve would say, oh, you like cocaine. I like cocaine.
I think everyone that's done cocaine likes cocaine. Like the people that don't like cocaine, they don't.
I mean, you'll never see me high because that's not the way I roll. But, I don't get high like that. You know what I mean? I don't walk around, I'm getting high. Never.
Yeah, I kind of am like a special occasions drug user.
Are you? Yeah. So, anyway, so now we know, people know, in case they don't know, but a lot of people know that, those ideas. So, also, you're kinky. So, did I see something on there that you work with trannies now, or you worked with them, or no, or yes?
I've worked with trans women twice, but it was like a long time ago.
Oh, really? It's not your thing?
It's not my thing.
Anything?
But it's not, it has nothing to do with that. It's just not,
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean, whatever, I don't. But it's, in my time, working with transgenders or working with guys that are on the gay side working was prohibited pretty much in porno. And, people weren't working. But today it's things are changing, right?
Yeah, now it's almost prohibited to say you won't work with anybody.
Really? And how do you feel about that?
Well, I think that everyone should be able to decide who they work with and who they don't work with without being ostracized by everyone in the business. So, I'm not necessarily because I've had people jump on me because I've done 2 trans scenes and then decided I wasn't going to do any trans scenes after that. And I'm like, it's just not what I want to do. And I think that should be fine. And I think it's the same with like, if you want to work with bi performers, then you should. And if you don't, then you shouldn't.
Yeah, with a and you can also say you don't want to work with that performer.
Yeah, you can just say you don't want to work
male or female.
Exactly. You don't want to work with somebody, yeah. So you just don't want. And that's the other part is you shouldn't have to explain why you don't want to work with somebody. So if you want to just make a no list, that's like every performer that you don't want to work with. It shouldn't actually matter to anyone why.
No, I agree. I mean, it's your body. Do what you want to do.
Yeah. You don't have to. You shouldn't have sex with anyone you don't want to have sex with.
Let me ask you this crazy question.
Yes, I'm excited.
Now, I'm sure you'll do this.
Okay.
Right? Because I think this is the future. I said this a few times. Sex robots, real. Because have you seen that one girl? Oh my God, I always forget her fucking name. The girl that did Sophia. Sophia, have you seen her? I'll check her out. She did an interview with Anthony Robbins. She did an interview 2 years before that. You know Anthony Robbins, Tony Robbins, famous, speaker. She can outsmart people now with her interviews, the robot. So you can bet.
Okay, if there was a sex robot that could like
the big dick or big pussy
that could also like get my buttons better than any human, yes, I'm definitely buying that robot.
No, but will you try if they bring it on the set? Since there's a no list, are you gonna have a no to robots because they're gonna come back?
No, I'm not gonna have a no to robots. Nope, that sounds fun. And even if they come out, like they're never gonna have a reason to come out and get me because I'm going to be like, if you're better programmed than any person, I definitely want to fuck you.
Yeah, right? Well, I want to try a robot too.
Yeah.
Really? Sign me up.
I need to be a part of this. Whatever this movement is, I'm getting in that.
All right, this one's even more extreme.
Oh, okay.
This one's dangerous, possibly.
Oh.
Okay. You know that they're minutes away you know, technically speaking, kind of, you know, figuratively speaking, I mean, from sending people to the moon for trips, right? So we're in space. We're going to be in space, you know. Elon Musk is going to Mars, you know, all that. So there's going to be some aliens out there. I guarantee it, right? What's your fucking alien?
Is it like a Star Trek alien where they're like humanoid?
Yeah. I want to fuck the green girl with Captain Kirk.
Exactly. I'm like, I also fuck some of those Star Trek. If it's like a human looking alien with like pointy ears or just like a weird color scheme, oh my God, there's some Klingons that I would definitely fuck. Yeah? Yes.
But not a oblong.
No, not like a octopus.
No. Remember when they had 2 dicks?
Yeah. Is it like kind of look like a person in some other way? Is it like a dude with 2 dicks? Like, cause I'll jump on. Yeah.
Maybe, you know.
That would be interesting.
Well, I don't know, you know what I mean? But I would fuck a girl with 2 pussies.
Yeah, I would definitely fuck a dude with 2 dicks. That would be so, yeah.
You know, I mean, even.
Especially if they're like right next to each other, I could just like double up on that. That'd be great.
And they don't even look, even if they don't look so much like what we're used to looking like, but they had some pretty pussies, I'd fuck them. But, you know, it's about you. It's about you. But so you do it too, right?
Probably.
So, all right.
Oh my God.
There's a lot of shit going on the moon you don't know about. They're mining on the moon. You know
I didn't know about that.
They're mining on the moon. There's a material on the moon. I forgot it over the last 2 years, but there's a special fusion material on the moon that's worth $1 billion per pound or per ton or something like that. So.
Invest in the moon, folks. Like
it's a race to the moon who gets it because it's unowned. Right. Obama signed an action or for the people, you know, that says that you can mine on the moon, anybody, an American, but you got to get there because they're there because you know they're doing it. That's why they signed it. So nobody's getting there unless you have the resources. And the asteroids and stuff in the out there are filled with all kinds of precious stones and minerals and all kinds of crazy shit. So outer space has got so much stuff. There's stuff floating around. It's $1 billion in each asteroid or 10 billion each asteroid. Nobody knows for sure, or they do. I don't know. Anyways, so let's get it's real. You know what I mean? I just want to let everybody know that. So
yeah, I'm just sitting here like, when are we gonna build a rocket?
No, we're gonna go to the moon. You mean if you have the money in your lifetime?
I don't think I have the money.
It'll get cheaper.
Okay. It'll get cheaper. It's like a Tesla.
Yeah, exactly. So I want to know this now, because now, I know who you are.
Okay.
Right? You know what I mean? So you were born in Nebraska, right? In what year?
1985.
1985. So you're like an 80s baby. What generation is that? Is there a generation?
That's millennial.
Millennial? Okay. And you went to school in the same place, same area? Mm-hmm. How were you in school?
I was great in school.
Smart? Good?
Yeah, really, really smart in school. Sometimes I was a little disruptive because I'm insufferable know-it-all. But yeah, like I was that kid that like would raise my hand and then shout out answers before anyone called on me and not let anyone get a chance to say anything. That's me. But
that's almost like a camera hog. It's like when you might get the camera time, right?
I'm like, I know the answer. But I was pretty good in school.
Straight A's?
A's and like B pluses every once in a while, depending on the subject and how boring the teacher was.
Oh, right. You got to be interested sometimes. So would you take hard courses? The top?
Yes. Yeah. I was in like, I was taking college calculus in high school and stuff.
Wow, really? That's great. I love math. You like math?
I like math. I'm rusty with math. I've learned that like in the last couple of years when I just am like trying to calculate something simple on my own. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm pulling out my phone for something I used to be able to do in my head. But yeah, in school, I liked math a lot.
So were you an athlete? Were you a cheerleader?
No, not at all. I was kind of a bookworm, and I was like in 4-H and Future Farmers of America and stuff like that, but not athletics. But like where I grew up, like 4-H was a big deal. It was, it wasn't like that dorky to be
farmland.
Yeah,
of course, Nebraska.
Yeah, it was perfectly. I was like president of my 4-H club and stuff. I was still kind of popular, just not athlete.
What kind of economic status did you grow up in?
Middle class.
Middle class? Your parents were both working or?
Yep. Lawyers.
Lawyers? That's great. That's pretty heavy. I mean, were they, lawyers? What kind of lawyers? Because there's different lawyers, you know what I mean?
My mom was, most of the time that I was growing up, in her career has changed quite a bit, but like she was a defense attorney for the railroad and for like the Burlington Northern Santa Fe Railroad, which, I mean, there's big money in that because the railroad gets sued a lot especially by workers and like workers' comp and things like that. And my dad basically just like did contract stuff. Like he would read contracts, and I have no idea what my dad did. It was boring. He never actually went to court that often. So,
but your mom did, so she's aggressive.
Yeah,
you have to be kind of.
My mom's a little bit more aggressive than my dad. A
trial attorney, kind of, right? Yeah. Yep. To be a trial attorney, you got to be a little bit rough. Yeah. Was she tougher than your father?
Yeah, in some ways, yeah. Or just like her personality is a little bit more,
domineering?
Kind of, yeah. A little.
Which leads to you being dominant, maybe?
Maybe, because he's pretty chill. He's like, yo, you want to do that? Sure, let's go do that. Like, whatever. Yeah, he's pretty calm, and she's kind of the leader in that.
In the household?
Kind of, yeah.
I think that if you're going to read contracts all day long, that you probably got to be really, really mellow, because it should make you crazy. They're read, right? You just got to just be like really...
Yeah. And he's
chill, set, so you can focus.
And a lot of attention to detail.
Yeah. So you grew up in a great family? Yeah, everything was just...
everything was great. Like my parents were still married, so we're really close.
That's interesting. Because I want to find out where this where this wildness comes from.
I know, I have no idea.
I'm trying to.
I've thought about it myself, and I have not come up with an answer. So if you come up with one,
maybe we'll figure it out. When sometimes it's in the blood. You know what I mean? When did you first understand your sexuality? Do you first touch yourself? How old were you?
Really little.
6, 7, 10?
Probably like 5, 6, maybe 4. Like my first memory of living on this, maybe 4. Like my first memory of living on this planet was masturbating.
Really?
Yeah.
So you don't remember anything before then?
No, there's like the first thing that I'm like, I'm sure I remember this in my childhood was me masturbating.
I masturbated about 5 years old too, 5 or 6. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's common for...
It's common for girls more than boys.
Really? Okay. Because you talk to girls and they agree with you?
Well, actually, I took a course in college, and girls are a little bit more better structurally designed to have an orgasm from day one. Like everything is fully developed when we're born, so we're not waiting on testosterone or whatever. We just actually can. Like our clitoris can provide an orgasm from basically since we come out that way.
I didn't know that. I mean, I can understand it, you know what I mean? So that's interesting. That's your first memory you remember. So you're already like sex. Something.
Yeah, but it's not really sexual when you're little. Or at least for me, it wasn't. It was more just like something comforting that felt good. And then it became like something that I associated with like sex with other people much later.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, well, when I was 6, I was thinking about the girl. So I don't know.
Yeah. I wasn't thinking about the girl. I wasn't thinking about or anything. I was just like, it feels nice. And so I'll do this.
So what was the first time that you looked at a girl or a boy, and you said, wow, I like the way they look, and I want to get to know them, they
Jessica Rabbit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when I was a little girl, it was Jessica Rabbit, and I was like 7, and that was I don't know that, like, I thought she was like the definition of human beauty.
Really? I thought she was pretty sexy.
Gosh, she's so sexy. Even now, I'm like, I'll watch Who Framed Roger Rabbit and be like, oh, why aren't you a real person?
Would you, if you could jump in the cartoon world and fuck her?
Totally. Yeah. Oh, who wouldn't? I don't think there's a person on this planet that wouldn't fuck Jessica Rabbit.
So Jessica Rabbit, and then when was who was the first person you kissed?
Her name was Paula, and she was a girl that I went to elementary school with, and we were 11.
So like 5th, 6th grade, close to that?
Mm-hmm. I think it was 6th grade.
You pecked her or you kissed her?
No, we made out.
Really?
It was for practice.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Was it? I mean, I love.
It was super awkward. It wasn't. Yeah, well, because neither of us had ever kissed anyone before, so it was like a really. Did
you feel anything warm and excited, or? Was
I liked her more before I kissed her.
Oh yeah. Wow.
Yeah, and then I kissed her, and it was awkward and weird. Yeah. Yeah, and then when I was 12, I started making out like regularly with my friend's brother at sleepovers.
Really?
Yeah, it was really inappropriate. He was like 15.
I mean...
Yeah. That's 3 years. That age difference is pretty big, like when you're like that young.
You're right. But women mature faster, they say.
Mentally, but like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Who cares? It was fine.
Did you fuck him?
No, I didn't end up fucking him. I did suck his dick.
Oh. That's cool. So was he excited? I mean,
yeah, he was pretty jazzed.
Did he come?
No, he didn't.
All right.
He got like freaked out, and then he didn't. But like part of me, because at first I was like, what the fuck just happened? Because he was like, oh, okay, you need to stop now. So I'm like, I think he was going to, and then he like got freaked out about it, and then he like shoved me off of him as opposed to just like jizzing. Like I'm like, I feel like it was like an embarrassing moment. So
listen, we just hit something, right? We just hit something. Some correlation. Right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay. I see where we're at right now. Yeah.
Because the guys in the business, when you're friendly to them before the scene, and they're not friendly, you're pissed.
I'm not like pissed.
No, but I mean, like, you know, it's offensive. I understand. But this guy pushed you off. You think that correlates or no? I'm crazy. Because that was kind of weird. You felt weird afterwards?
Yeah. Well, I don't know how weird I felt. I was like more just like, yeah, I would say that if it correlates to anything, it would correlate more to like why I'm a fucking sadist. And because like I love doing orgasm denial shit with guys, like getting them really close to like edging crap is so fun. Like I do that for hours. I would say that's probably more likely. Like, okay. I'm like, did you want to come? Oh no, you can't.
I knew a girl like that one time wouldn't let me fuck her until I ground on her for 2 hours. And then as soon as I fucked her, I was like, oh. But I was young, you know. But anyways, so I kind of understand it a little bit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's kind of hard, you know, when you're older, you know, you get kind of. Anyways, so then, when was the first time you had sex?
The first time I had sex with a girl was when I was 15.
Yeah. You were licking her pussy?
What?
You're licking her pussy?
Yeah, like we had. It was really weird. We just like sort of dove into it. And then she was my girlfriend for the rest of high school and part of college. So.
Whoa, really? So that's serious. So
But then I was also fucking other girls at the same time that I was fucking her. It wasn't like a exclusive thing. I think it was supposed to be, but it wasn't for me because I'm a terrible person.
What's her name? Let's get you busted.
No.
Okay.
Her name's Sheena, and if she was listening to this, she also knows that I was fucking other people, so she'd be fine. At this point, we're over it.
I mean, so back then you felt more close to girls?
Well, I don't even know if that's the thing. I think that it was like the first person I had sex with was a girl. And then that just became what I was comfortable with. And I was happy with that. And so like changing it up to try something new just wasn't all that necessary. So I was like even like, cause I didn't really fuck with dudes until I was like 22, 23. And then it was like, and all the way up until then, I was like, I don't know. Like I'm not a lesbian, but girls are just what happens to me. But I think it was just like a comfort thing and who I was hanging out with.
Well, that's a trip. So, but you fucked a guy, but you didn't go with him.
No, I didn't like date the first guy I had sex with. That would have been crazy.
Right.
Because well, the other part of it was like guys that I knew were too excited about that. They were like, oh man, she's been fucking girls this whole time and maybe she could fuck a guy. And like, I was like, I don't want anyone to feel too special. So like, I'm not going to have like the first dude I have sex with be someone that I'm going to like keep talking to.
Really? Wow. That's an interesting idea.
I'm a terrible person. It goes back to that. But I just like, I didn't want like that expectation of attachment, you know, because I had friends that knew that I was mostly like always with girls. And so then they like male friends that knew I was with girls. And I was like, well, I can't fuck one of you because you're going to get it in your head that like you're the first dude I had sex with and that's somehow a thing. So the first dude I had sex with was basically a stranger.
How was it?
It was fine.
No big deal. Yeah, so now I understand why you can be an axe murderer easy. I mean, you know, figuratively speaking, right? Because you're not, to guys, I mean. Because you don't really give a fuck about guys that much.
I give a fuck about some guys.
But not, yeah? Some guy broke your heart before?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've had my heart. But it's not the same. Like, yeah, even the guy that like, and he didn't like break my heart like a purposeful thing. He wasn't like a douche or anything, but it was just like an unrequited situation. But it still like was, I would say, easier for me to deal with or cope with. Cause like, I'm still friends with him. Like, it's not like one of those, like, I can't be around you. I'm like, oh shit, we are not going to be together. I'm going to go cry about this in the shower for about a week. And then, do you want to get drinks? Like,
so really, you didn't really have your heart broken.
I think it was broken-ish.
Yeah, so not really.
I feel like a week of crying in a shower is like a long time. I don't know.
That's as far as it goes for you.
That's as far as it goes. And then I'm like, but it was fun when we were hanging out. Do you want to hang out again? And then we're over it, right? I don't know.
For some reason, there must be some barrier in there that you can't get attached to a guy. I mean, like really... No, maybe it's because you like girls so much.
Maybe I think that might actually just be it. Yeah. I just like girls a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I like girls, so I can't say anything.
Because a girl, like, I've pined over women for like fucking.
Really? There we go,
dude.
Really?
Like, yeah, I've been such a simp for girls, but with guys,
brokenhearted for a long time.
Oh my gosh, brokenhearted, and I've like had girls that like it was like I felt like I could just like figure like what could I do to get to like win them over, and I would buy them shit and I would like drop everything for them. I've never been like that with a dude. Like,
whoa, I mean,
yeah, like
that's why you're an axe murderer to guys.
A little.
I mean, it's, you know, that's interesting. So you can't axe murder women too easy.
Not as easy, no. Like if a girl starts crying in front of me, I'm like, yeah, it's. Not as easy.
So you were a slut with girls when you were in school, but not guys?
No.
No way. How many guys did you fuck before you became a stripper?
Well, before I became a stripper, none. I started dancing when I was 18.
Oh, so your first guy was 20 something?
Yeah, I was like 22, 23. I've been dancing for like 5 years.
The first guy that fucked you was 22.
Well, he was a little older than that.
Okay, but you were 22. So no guys before that.
Yeah, right.
Wow. All right. And wow. Were the girls fucking your ass then, or no?
No, it was the first dude that fucked my ass was a guy, but the first dude that fucked my ass was a guy that I had sex with one time. It wasn't the first dude I had sex with. It was a different dude shortly after that like went for my ass, and I was like, sure, let's jump in there.
First time at all, any anal penetration?
I think okay, my first girlfriend in high school stuck her finger in my ass a couple times, but like not like a dildo or anything. Yeah.
Your girlfriends in school, and would they lick your ass when you guys were 69?
Not really. It was very vanilla. Yeah.
Okay.
But I think when you're like younger, that's sort of normal.
Yeah. Right. In my time, it was really, well, I was having sex with my girlfriend in the ass when I was young. So
yeah, were you?
Whatever. Anyways, but that's interesting. So you did good in school. Nothing really comes crazy, huh?
No, I don't like have any trauma or anything. You're just
a beautiful sex person.
I guess.
That likes girls.
I guess.
Yeah.
I don't like dislike guys. I mean, like,
No, but they're secondary.
Yeah. Well, as far as like feelings are concerned. Yeah.
How many guys have you had sex with?
Before porn, I had sex with 7 guys. And after porn, I have no fucking idea how many men I have sex with. I mean, honestly, we could probably get a pretty decent head count by going through movies, but...
Yeah, a couple hundred. You work with the same guys sometimes twice.
Yeah.
So a couple hundred maybe, right?
Yeah.
But girls, you said...
Girls, that number is way higher, yeah.
Way up there.
Yeah.
500, is that what you said earlier?
I would almost imagine it would be close to that. Like, I got really lucky in college with girls, especially.
Were you were picking up on them?
Mm-hmm. And one, being a stripper was always like beneficial in some ways in that area because, you know, you're always around girls that are we're all like trapped in a dressing room together, and everyone, and dancers tend to be a little bit more open-minded because they're dancers and stuff. So
open their legs, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like a scientific fact. You open your legs. You know, did you know that when you sit like this, you're open for business? Did you know that? I mean, kind of psychologically, you know, body language states that. But if you have your legs crossed real tight, you're not open. You're not fucking around. That's like psychological.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's a lot of things like graphology will even say things too.
Okay.
You know graphology?
No.
It's the study of handwriting.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, so this is something that people always want to know. What would you suggest to a man, right, to get his woman off and keep her happy?
Don't assume that what worked with the last woman is what works with this one. Saved it. I would almost just be like, you gotta like man up and ask at some point, or experiment. But like, I feel like the mistake that men make a lot is that they're like, my last girlfriend really liked this thing a lot. And so then they try to jump into the next thing and they're like, well, I'm really good at eating pussy. I feel like this is like a thing that men do. I'm really good at eating pussy because the last girl thought I was great. And then they jump in and do the same thing with you. And you're like, actually, I can I'm going to try to adjust you or adjust me so that like you're doing it in a way that I like. And then they insist on doing it in what works in the past. So like, it goes back to like, everyone's so structured different. So just don't assume that like what worked in the past works now. Like with this new pussy. Like you have to learn every new pussy.
I think that's great advice. No, I mean, you know, that's brilliant.
Thanks.
I think. I mean, it's, you know, totally sensible, but I know sex, so yeah. Mm-hmm. If you want to, you need to be well-rounded, I guess. You know,
yeah.
Especially in this day and age.
Yeah, you have to be like open to kind of adjusting, because yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. When you're, you know, I think when you're older or old school, they always have that, you know, it's hard to train a old horse new tricks or a dog new tricks. Yeah. Right? So you're saying you got to get trained. You
let each new vagina retrain you.
Yeah. What about women? Same goes?
Same. I would say the same.
Is there anything you would like to add, you know, to this interview that I've missed? You have social media. Could you tell me about it?
So my OnlyFans is londonseariver.com, or you can go to my BDSM store, and it's all BDSM stuff, and it's clips.captiverose.com. And like my Twitter is London Sea River, and my Instagram is the London Sea River, and you can find everything basically in those places.
Go there. I mean, this is one of my best interviews.
Yay.
Yeah, I mean, You're really a sweet girl, and
thank you.
I really appreciate you coming. You know, you gave information I haven't heard before. You know, so I've heard a lot, right? I've seen a lot, so I'm appreciative.
Thank you. This has been really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a really natural conversation that it works really good.
Yeah, thank you. The last question is what I ask everybody. Okay, in 2 words. And I hate to see us break up right now. We're going to break apart now. We had a nice time.
So we're done, right?
But of your time, let's say in bondage and porno. For me, it's mostly porno. But can you describe your experience in 2 words?
Eye-opening.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah, see, you're unusual. Usually it's describes something different, but this is an unusual answer.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. I mean, because, it's more of a mental, more of your brain thinking, it's more like, I think, eye-opening, it's totally different. So I do have, I like to, that's like at the end of the kind of porno, but I like to throw something on there at the end here. What, of all the celebrities, or of anybody, you could be trapped on an island stuck with them for 6 months, who would it be?
John Oliver.
John Oliver?
Yeah.
Who's that?
He's the host of Last Week Tonight. He's like a
English guy.
Yeah. He's the English guy with the glasses who played Zazu and.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Holy shit! Really?
Yeah, I would love to sit on an island with him.
Wow. Hey, John Oliver, you hear that? This is a beautiful woman that will call her up.
I don't know if you've seen his wife, but she is absolutely spectacular as well.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, like if I could have both of them on a desert island for sure.
Maybe, shit happens.
But she's stunning.
Really?
No, he makes fun of himself, but if you look up his pictures with his wife, he's done well. Yeah.
Wow. Maybe he's got a big dick and he makes her laugh. Maybe, huh?
Yeah, women like smart, funny dudes.
Yeah.
He probably also has a excellent dick, organism.
Have you ever fucked with any celebrities?
No.
Never? None?
No.
Sports, movies, anybody?
Mm-mm.
No?
Oh, wait, have I? No.
No? Okay, how about a female? Which female celebrity would you like, since you like females so much? Models, actresses, sports figures.
It always goes to comedians, probably. Is this people that I want to fuck on this desert island, or is this
yeah, that you want, you know what I mean?
Okay,
that you love, that you want.
Doesn't matter if they're straight in real life.
Doesn't matter at all. You take who you want.
Okay, I would take Eliza Schlesinger on a desert island. She's also a comedian.
Who's that?
She's like a beautiful blonde comedian that's really funny.
She did any movies?
She has a Netflix sketch show, and then she's in a ton of comedy specials, and but she's not she's a celebrity, but she's not a movie star. She's a superstar comedian. She won Last Comic Standing, and that's where her career took off, and now she's written books, and
wow.
yeah, she's
pretty. Say her name one more time.
Eliza Schlesinger.
Okay.
It's yeah.
And there you heard it,
She's a beautiful, blonde, very funny person that I would definitely have sex with if she wasn't straight as an arrow and also didn't know me. So
okay. I missed that one right there. Thank you. What is your preference look-wise for a woman?
This is the worst question ever because I always end up I like a lot of curves. I like boobs and butts and small waists. And then I realize that I'm kind of describe myself. And I'm I like women that look a little like me. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's cool. Blonde. Are you Nordic or?
Yeah, I did an ancestry.com, and I'm mostly Scandinavian and Dutch.
I can see that kind of.
It's the blue eyes and the height and
strong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's thanks again. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. London River. I said it perfectly.
You said it perfectly.
TTBoy TV out. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Peace out.